Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Even though I am like the most premier computer expert probably in existence, I've been streaming to myself for the last 5 minutes, answering important questions. So I guess I get to start over. The screen is squashed. Okay, I don't know what that means. So luckily, I get to re-answer questions again. So don't worry, they were good answers. Trust me. But as I started before, you guys are really, really fucked up. You guys have so many issues. You guys need me. So I'm just going to get started. And again, this one's from Mimsy with a bunch of numbers, which I will never read the numbers. The other 4,300 Mimsies are just going to have to figure that shit out. So, starts off relationship advice. Thank you for telling me what the question's about instead of just asking the question. That is super important that I know. I took a high school sweetheart to see Exit Wounds, dickhead. She had me pick the movie, and I wanted to watch something badass. This is terrible. She went to get popcorn in the middle of it and never came back. Okay, who was in the wrong? I paid for it, and she drove. I just felt so used up, and I haven't been right since. My mom had to pick me up, and she didn't talk the entire way home. And my dad had nothing to say to me. All right, so for everyone involved here, you are just completely wrong. You are a terrible person, and if I knew how, I'd be banning you from this right now, but I have no idea how to do that. So you got lucky on that. The girlfriend, I'm hoping X, drove you to a Seagal movie, so that's bad. But she did ditch you in the middle. Not only did she ditch you in the middle, but she ditched you to get popcorn and never came back. So you're there waiting for that popcorn, thinking, oh man, that's going to be some good popcorn, and you never get it. The only way that could be better is if she asked you for money for the popcorn and then just left. That would be amazing. So people are complaining my voice is, let me see. All right, we'll see if that's any better. So anyway, she's right, and even more right if she took your money and just left. Your mom never should have picked you up. Your dad not talking to you is good. Only if it's still to this day. If you guys have made amends, then fuck him too. Next question is from Sean Snyder. How much blow did Steven Seagal have to give the girls who agreed to star as his love interests in all his movies? The answer is none. That was true love. Now, Rhaegar Targaryen, will you live stream yourself getting Steven Seagal? No, I'm not reading the rest. No, just no. I don't care what the rest is. No. Syndrome, I have a relationship advice question. Oh, okay, cool. Another person telling me they have a question instead of just asking the question. We can make this go faster. If you guys just put a question mark at the end of whatever you say, that'll be code to tell me it's a question, and we can skip that first sentence. Me and my girlfriend have been having problems. She says I don't listen to her or pay attention enough, and she's thinking about leaving me. Which JCVD film can I watch that will best drown out her annoying whining? That's actually an easy one. There's a Van Damme movie where in the middle of it, in a scene that seems like it makes absolutely no sense, but trust me, it does. He flies out to Thailand, and I don't want to spoil it for you. It's amazing. Astronomy asks, spelled like an idiot because he doesn't know how to spell, is there a link between me enjoying Nick Cage movies and being forever single? Yes, your happiness. JC Rogue, if you could be in a Steven Seagal movie, which would it have been and what role would you have played? Another good yet easy question. The fighter jet in Executive Decision. I do die, but oh my god, is it worth it? Oh my god, it's so worth it. I appreciate the chat who's telling me how great I am. I agree with you guys. Ninja sword to the head. Do you think horses remember things from when they were little? See, these are the questions that I'm glad you guys are asking. These are the important questions. The answer is yes, you sick fuck. Your days are numbered. My God. But this stuff can, oh my God. Nobody Needs Jeff asks, when is the Song of Space, Ice, and Fire coming out? I'm writing it along with Winds of Winter. Me and R.R. Martin, we're working on it, so it'll probably come out about the same time. Mr. O'Hare, considering the laws of thermodynamics, I always do, and the rate of decay of an atomic particle of your choosing, how many Steven Seagulls would it take to defeat Jean-Claude Van Damme? Another good question. That is actually not just dividing by 0, that's dividing by 0, 0. You're dividing 0 by 0. That is how much of an insane question that is. There is no answer to this. Darren Farley asks, do you plan on doing more live streams in the future? No, I do not. Oh boy, you got some long questions. You guys can just ask questions. You don't got to do 2-paragraph questions. My God. All right, Kelvin, like the temperature, Kagera. When I was 14 years old, I was asked by our neighbor across the street if I knew self-defense and talked about how important it is. He then asked me if I am familiar with Aikido and shown me a picture of him with Steven Seagal, telling me that he was his mentor. He ultimately told me that he would like to teach me Aikido. I said I'll think about it and made sure to never meet him again. Looking back, I may have missed a glorious opportunity to learn the martial art form where you make yourself flip to the ground that the great Steven Seagal promotes, and who knows, I may have met Lord Steven, in which then I would have attained enlightenment. Yeah, that's the way they wrote it. I know how to read. Did I make a mistake in rejecting the offer? Well, Kelvin, you were definitely going to get molested. Just looking at this question, that's 100% you were going to get molested. I will let you decide if that was a mistake. I'm leaning towards yes. Yes, that you were right in rejecting no. Not yes, you should have got molested. No, not that. Tanukio, Space Ice Sir. I know you only do action movies, but is there any way you can do dancing? It's on. No, I might do Breakin'. That's an amazing movie. But no, I don't know what dancing it's on is, and I will not do it. Faisal Najim. Would you ever fly to Moscow and say thank you in person to Sensei Seagal? Again, no, and this is a long question, and I'm already done with it. So, going to move on. Vinny, what sound would Rob Schneider make if he falls over in a forest of seagulls? I'm guessing that's supposed to be Seagulls, because he was paralyzed by Cage's manic look. If it's Schneider, it's bah! That's what he does. He does sheep noises, and it's really annoying. Getting questions from chat. Okay, see what we got. Harry Potter pokes wands. Star Wars poke tube light. LOTR pokes big rods. WTF is happening, and what's next in humanity? Space Ice is next. Do the Van Damme dance. That's not a question, but I appreciate it. Thank you, Bitcoin Live. Treadhead 1945. Is Rob Schneider real or a construct of the Matrix to hide the greatness of Neil Breen? Spelled incorrectly. Unfortunately, Rob Schneider is real. I'm sorry to break it to you. See where did I leave off at? Oh, Macy K. What kind of editing software are you working with? Also, how do I get my voice to sound as deep, smooth, and awesome as yours? I don't use editing software. No, I do it all by hand. And the way to get the perfect voice is lots and lots of slow motion yelling. That should be most of what you do all day. So Meldrick asks, what's up, man? Just chilling. Thank you, Meldrick, for that question. Sir Carl 10. Who is a better actor, Seagal or the chair he sits in? Ooh, that is actually a really good question. Now, the chair is not acting. It is an actual chair just being itself. I'm still going to go with the chair because fuck Seagal. He loses everything. Who would win in a fight between Van Damme? Doesn't matter, Van Damme. Thank you, Slick Fandango, for that question. Joe Blow asks, glad I caught your live stream. I really look forward to your videos each week. Yes, that's a good question, Joe Blow. Thank you. Your man in Japan asks, in a fight between fat Steven Seagal and fatter Steven Seagal, who do you think will win? Since Seagal is not able to win, they would both lose. Thank you for the question, my man in Japan. Funky Reaper Cat has 2 questions. Oh, that's cheating. But whatever, I never specified. Will you ever consider reviewing Fast and the Furious 4? Yes. What you think about reviewing Adam Sandler movies like Pixel? No. Jeff does Kung Fu. Van Damme spin kick versus 10 Seagal blind shootings. Who wins? Oh, come on. I don't even need to answer this. This is embarrassing. Come on, guys. Rafael Gonzalez, do you like any Steven Seagal movie? Executive Decision is top tier. It's got Kurt Russell as well, so yes. Another question. Oh. It's like Mr. Fancy Pants. I love your videos, man. Who would win in a slap fight between Lord Steven and Van Damme? I feel the fact that you guys are asking who would win between Van Damme and someone, especially Seagal, means I'm not doing my job. So I have failed you guys. I apologize. It will always be Van Damme. Space Chief, how many spin kicks to Seagal's face do I need to do to get Space Ice to break down the Dolph Lundgren mega hit, I Come in Peace? 4. Do 4 and I will do that movie that same day. Daniel Sanders asks, thumbs up. Thank you, Daniel. Good question. Lazavin, can you read this in your epic Space Ice voice? It's the Space Ice mega blockbuster hit movie. Hit live stream where he showed the world what he really looks like. So the answer is no. I cannot do that. Why is proper... Oh, sorry. Chris in Jersey. Why is proper spark plug maintenance not taught? How many lives do we need to lose every year to need the spittin'? Very good question. It's called culling the herd. Some people just need to go, and this takes out the weak ones who are too stupid. Medgo. Is Space Ice a one-man channel, or are there multiple people behind the scene helping in creating cinema history? It is just me. Nobody else can do this. Oh, we got more questions coming in from chat. Treadhead. Can Jean-Claude Van Damme save the planet? I don't know what you're referring to, save the planet from what, but yeah. It's fucking Van Damme. Of course he can. Silly question. Can be with a thumbs up, I think. So, thank you, Kimby. That's another good question. JCVD is life. I agree. Oh, God. Okay. What is this name? Pardolescianian. Hey, man, I'm struggling. A good genie granted me wishes. Last one left. I'm torn between wishing that Van Damme would be my immortal friend and mentor, or taking away Steven Seagal's ability to be captured on a video. Like he literally couldn't be seen on a video ever again. Genie said he can make it work retrospectively, I'm assuming retroactively, with his old movies too. Like a terrible version of vampirism without any of the cool stuff. Please help me, Space Ice. You are my only hope. Yes, this is why I'm here. So for you, obviously being Van Damme, having him as your mentor would work out great. But for society, for the world as a whole, you gotta get rid of Seagal. So don't be selfish. Tell that genie that Seagal's gotta go. Yeah. I mean, and I thank you for your sacrifice. I wouldn't be able to do it. I would say screw you guys. I would have Van Damme be my buddy. Randy Havard. How do you manage to be correct about the movies 100% of the time? It's the mullet. It's all the mullet. Trust me. Grow a mullet, you'll get it. John Willie Purser. Is it true that the purpose of life is to wait for one of your videos, consume it religiously, and then repeat the cycle? Yeah, sure, close enough. Let's see, questions coming in from chat. Conrad K. Would you consider a collab with Pitch Meeting or Honest Trailers? Yeah, I guess, sure, why not? Roland Hooten. Does the voice hurt? Doesn't hurt me, no. If you're asking if it hurts other people, I hope so. That'd be good. Ooh, Kona Bona 2001. This is a juicy one. Would you rather be in a relationship with JCVD or Cage? Oh, man. So, you're basically asking who would I rather disappoint, JCVD or Cage? If you've seen Knockoff, you saw the pain in Van Damme's eyes when Rob Schneider disappointed him. I could not do that to the man. It'd have to be Cage. I can't hurt Van Damme again. Ace of Maine. How do you properly cook a turkey? Okay, come on, guys. This is easy stuff. You yell at your wife. You point at the turkey. So you point at the turkey, then you lift the fingers, what time you want the turkey to be done by, and you never look away from the TV. Got it? Yell your wife's name, point at the turkey, number of fingers, what time it should be ready by, and you are done. If you look away from the TV, then you failed already. Sloth, do you like National Treasure 1 or 2 more? Ooh, that's a good one. I believe National Treasure has a longer runtime, so that means there's more Nicolas Cage, so I'm going to go National Treasure 1. Fulcrum K, how do you deal with approach anxiety? Stopping a bitch? That's pretty simple. Ooh. John PE7NF. How much cage could a Nick Cage cage if a Nick Cage could cage cages? Oh, man. That's the eternal question. I'm going to go with bees. The answer is bees. Promoteo, will you watch the new movies of Steven Seagal in the cinema? That's a trick question. Unless he smuggles the movies into his little kimono muumuu thing, they're never going into a cinema. So, no, I will not be watching them in a cinema. Bill Gildiniacolis asks, so, are you going to answer any of them? Very good question, very good question. I'm not even going to answer. Andrew Chavez, who is winning the main event of UFC 303, Jiri or Alex? This is a tough one. I'm going to go with Alex. Probably like a knockout in the second round by like a head kick or something. That's my prediction. Took my job. What's your Mount Rushmore of horrible action movie stars? I imagine it would be probably 5 Seagals, but they're going to look kind of melted, just because that's how Seagal looks. So 5 melted Seagals. Noobs Quizzes asks, what does katana mean? You're in luck. I speak fluent Japanese. Katana means Japanese sword. I appreciate that question. Let's see, I got more questions from chat, it looks like. I got in trouble for watching a space size video during a work meeting. Can I get a note from my boss so I can keep watching your videos at work? You don't need a note. Just turn the volume up, put it on the big screen. Everyone can watch it together. Thank you, Treadhead. What do we got here? Sorenishi asks. This is not a question, never mind. He just tells me to do Big Stan. Understood. Lucas asks, the only thing that could defeat Steven Seagal is Space Size haircut. Have you never seen Jean-Claude Van Damme? My God, people. Get your shit together. All right. Tommy Dorkelson, do you like grilled cheese sandwiches? As an adult, I have to say no. But if I'm going to be honest, fuck yeah, everybody likes grilled cheese sandwiches. Duckmaster, can you tell me a joke to take my mind off my kidney stone? No, I cannot. Abdu the Heretic, was that Syphilis Iceman? It was syphilis. You got me. It was syphilis. I pulled a fast one on you guys, but can't fool you. Tim the Enchanter. When I encounter Seagal, should I pretend I don't have any cookies, or should I just give them over? Neither. Just kind of walk at a leisurely pace, hold a cookie in the air, he'll chase you, and he'll never catch you. He can't go very fast. The Gerald asks, hey, big fan here, Space Ice. I'm in the police academy right now, and when I asked my instructor if it's okay to yell drop it in between gunshots, oddly that whole thing was in quotations, when you're shooting a perp, he said no, is he right? No, he is an idiot, you should not listen to him. Next time you guys are at the shooting range, I want you to slap the gun out of his hand and call him a pussy. Mr. Remnants, I've got a question. What's up with the spark plug? Good question, Mr. Remnants. The spark plug is why she's spitting. Hope that clears it up. Mr. Pink asks, Rob Schneider? Rob Schneider. Fantastic. See more questions from chat. Sure I can figure out how to work this because I'm such a smart computer genius. Ooh. If you could remake any worst movie ever with unlimited money and control, which one would you choose and what would you do to make it rad? It would be, absolutely would be Double Down from Neil Breen. I believe I could make that incredible with a budget. I would hire actual actors. I would make the plot make sense. Things would naturally come from each other. Dialogue would have something to do with what was said before and after it. I think I could do a lot to improve it. Obed Rosario retracted their message. Okay. Thank you, Obed, anyways. I appreciate that. See more from chat. If Seagal makes good on his threat of releasing that documentary about Ukraine, would you make a video about it? He can't actually be making himself, right? I mean, if he does, hell yes. Fuck yeah, I'll make a video on that. That's going to be embarrassing for him. I would love to see a Seagal documentary. Oh, Obed Rosario's back. Retracted the last one because it came up with a better question. Can you start Liam Neeson movies? Yeah, sure, why not? Nothing wrong with Liam Neeson. All right, let's see more questions from chat. So those were the ones from the poll I put out. Like I said, 90% of those were just movie names. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be questions. Oh, Daniel Sanders asks, what's with the Judy Winslow video? I feel like it was explained pretty well in the video. She has been lost to time, literally, because of Urkel, who screws up most things. They went back in time and erased her from existence, and Carl motherfucking Winslow has been out there ever since, playing with the timeline, trying to get her back. I don't know why. She was the most, before Urkel, she was the most annoying one on that show, but he's a dad. Dads do what dads do. All right, let's see what more questions we got from chat. Come on, chat, give me a good question. Someone give me a good question. Please turn up your audio. Again? All right. Let me see if I can turn up the audio. All right, how about that? Is that better, chat? Oh, okay. Daryl Alexander. Space Ice is live. Yes. Oh, wow, thank $100. You're awesome. But yes, Space Ice is live. I live and I'm live. I'm not sure what you're asking, but the answer is yes to both. Is this really Space Ice? No, this is not really Space Ice. Live Space Ice? Is this usual? Yes. I've decided that because you guys are in such bad shape as a society, I need to come here, answer your questions, and fix your problems. Questions I'm missing from chat. You guys have come up with gold so far. At least one of you came up with a good question. The rest have been garbage. You guys figure that one out. Divot King, has Space Ice ever been a county jail? I choose not to answer that. Space Ice is a national treasure. Any chance you'll eventually review Wesley Snipes' pre-tax evasion action film and during tax evasion DTV movies. And then something in a language I'm not even going to pretend to try and pronounce, but yeah. I've done a few Wesley Snipes. He was very underrated as an action star. Can you please cover the Goonies, please? Love you, dude. Yeah, you know what? Goonies is a good one. I think I might do Goonies, and not next, but before too long. Oh, Ashes. How to change my woman's spark plug she doesn't swallow. That's easy. Get a new woman. Space Ice looks like Adam Frazier wearing a wig. Well, that's not a question, but thank you. I don't know who Adam Frazier is, but I'm sure it's a compliment. Charlie Brown asks, will you ever give Siegel a point? If he earns it. I am completely fair and unbiased. If Seagal earns a point, he'll get a point. Space Ice is a national treasure from Kimby T. Which nation? Yeah, not the UK. No. Good old USA. I thought it was pretty clear with the thumbnail. But yeah, America. RoboCop aliens when? If you're asking in life, soon. If you're asking about the video, RoboCop will be before too long. I'd say within the next 2 months you'll get RoboCop. Is this the real Space Ice or some lame AI bot? Thank you for the question, Yellow Devil. AI has not mastered mullets yet. And if you don't believe me, here's my hand. See, I only have 5 fingers. Can't be AI. Videotron Bahimi, Space Ice. What do you think about Zack Snyder? Oh boy. He's better than Seagal. We'll just leave it at that. He's better than Seagal. Bill Rose, you would have blast doing Mortal Kombat sequel. Yes, I will get around to the Mortal Kombat. I believe the sequel is Annihilation. Remember it being one of the worst movies growing up, but that was before I saw all these Seagal movies, so it might be incredible now. Obed Rosario, what made you start the channel? Any stand-up? I started the channel as a favor to Winslow, to Carl motherfucking Winslow, to help find his daughter, and then I just kind of gave up on that and started doing movies instead. No stand-up. I'm more of a sit-down like Seagal. Padraig Don, what Seagal video is next? I'm leaning towards the Patriot since, we just had 4th of July, and I like to miss holidays by a couple weeks and then do something nobody wanted about that holiday. So probably the Patriot. I'm a huge fan, asks Mr. Oso 805. Yes, you're a huge fan. Thank you. Looking for a good question from chat. So what's wrong with the audio? Is it too loud, too quiet? Troop Good Guy, are you a Sopranos fan? Yes, I do like Sopranos. Oh, okay. Then turn your volume up if it's too quiet. Jesus, people. Was Space Ice ever on a bus that crashed? Very good question. No, I have not been on a bus that crashed. Michael Olson, do you use a computer to change your voice? I do not use a computer to change my voice. It sounds very robotic. It was fine the last stream, Space Ice. I don't know what to tell you. There's always some issues. I can see if there's something going on with it. So it sounds, okay. Is that why people are asking if it's AI? So people who this is the first stream, it's a little running gag I do where I pretend like I'm having computer issues. But I actually know what's going on all the time. Yeah, I see nothing there. Well, I guess I'm going to be a transformer for a little bit. So some people are saying the audio's fine, so I'm going to believe the ones I want to believe who says everything's good. That's the way I do it. Ed Scally, why the name Space Ice? Thank you, dude. That's just what my parents named me. Sounds like you have 2 copies of your stream open, which is causing your voice to come over twice. So the weird thing is some people are saying that's not happening, and some people are. Interesting. They just want to hear the Space Ice voice. Okay, not a question. Could Space Ice slam Andre the Giant? If Hulk Hogan can do it, I can do it. Is snorting Space Ice legal? Yes. No, I'm not Canadian, JRR in Boston. How dare you? Make sure I'm not missing any super chats up here. Oh, good. It sounds tinny, not robotic. Okay. Robinski, do you edit the movies first or write the script first and then edit to match the script? I don't write any script, so neither. I just kind of do it as it's going along. Oh, well, thank you, Coffee, for telling me the audio is fine. And there's something barely noticeable. Okay. Appreciate that. At Space Ice, Merca or USA? Ooh, see, these are the hard-hitting questions we need to get to. Typically Merca. But I'm partial to USA also. Space Ice should review nursery rhymes. 3 Little Pigs? Okay. Not a question, but cool. Is Space Ice a flat earther? I'm going to go with no on that one. Yeah, I'm just going to go with no on that one. Hey, Space Ice, let's play Fall Guys. I don't think that's a question. You guys can cheat and just put a question mark at the end of a statement. That'll definitely get me. Space Ice, you watch those dumb art house movies like Kubrick, Tarkovsky, James Schmalicks? I do not. The only art movies I watch are Nick Cage and Van Damme. They're not art house. They're just art. Sean RB asks, I'm sure I'll be forced to watch Submerged while sitting in a chair eating cookies after making this statement. But Under Siege is a goods movie. A goods movie. Yes. There are some goods. I'm assuming you're talking about the cake scene. There are some goods. How do you supply the Acolyte Space Cream? I think it's Spice Cream. And no. God, no, I would never do that. I have dignity. Space Ice. Have you ever met Seagal? Hell no, I've never met Seagal. There we go, Lucas. Will Space Ice start an OnlyFans soon? So the way you worded that is start. So no, I will not start one soon. We'll just leave it at that. Has Seagal ever contacted you? Possibly. I mean, I'm sure the spelling would be unreadable if he had, so I wouldn't know. But as far as I know, he has not. Thor Doom Skull Splitter. What state do you lube in? My state. The state I'm in. I don't go to another state to lube. Adam asks, can you call Van Damme and Nick Cage? I would be more than happy to. Space Ice. The game in the works? No idea what that means, but no, probably not. If you mean a Space Ice video game, then sure. Yeah, we'll get that going. What do you think of Adam Sandler movies? I do not think of Adam Sandler movies. Ever. Oh my God, never. Clarence O'Veer. Nice to know that he at least didn't threaten you or something. Oh, he's probably threatening me. Oh, it's fucking Seagal. Who cares? Gary828, must have not been here earlier, asks if I've ever liked a Seagal movie. Yes. Executive Decision. Second half of that movie's amazing. Give me your rights. Have you seen the American Ninja movies? I have. Shop tunes. Hey, brother, I'm taking a dump while watching this. Fuck yeah, you are. That's how men do it. Is Space Ice related to Dwight Schultz? No. Space Ice, will you or won't you? Yes, I will. Don't worry, I will. These are some great questions. At Space Ice, is it your voice dub in your videos? Is it my voice dub in my videos? Yeah, it is my voice that I dub myself in my own videos, yes. Hey Space Ice, am I crazy or did you change the speed of some of your videos? You are insane. I don't know what that means, but no, I haven't changed the speed. I don't know if I can change the speed. Once it's there, you can't really do anything with it. Hey Space Ice, do you ever put lobster in your armpits? Oh yeah, I do. I'm an American like everyone else. Space Ice, what is your opinion of Andor? I have never seen Andor. In fact, one of the reasons I did The Acolyte is because I have not seen pretty much anything Star Wars related. So I figured I was the most qualified to review it. Light asks, Space Ice, is it true you're the greatest content creator to ever walk the earth? That is true, brother. That is true. El Gronk, what do you think about taking an hour dump at work? I think you're playing the system and more power to you. You should take as many dumps at work as they will allow. Space Ice been double dubbing? Yeah, I've been dubbing over my own dubs. Does Space Ice listen to Tool? I enjoy Tool. Haven't they been working on the new album for like 25 years? So I haven't listened to them recently, but I do enjoy them. Hey, Space Ice, do you like the band Killing Joke? Never heard of them, but I like the name, so sure. Space Ice, when will your Cheers review drop? I'm working on it. Love me some Rhea Perlman. Space Ice, this is from Norman Conti. Did you read Quentin Tarantino's book on cinema? No, I wrote the book on cinema. I don't need to read it. Hey, Space Ice from Muna 3Gs. Are you going to review any China O'Brien movies? I have no idea what that is, so no. Space Ice, who is your favorite British actor? That's a good question. Oh, boy. I mean, they're all so terrible. Who can I pick? I'm going to go with, I like Henry Cavill. I do like Henry Cavill. Especially great that everyone loves him and nobody will let him do anything. That's my favorite part. Yo, Space Ice, do you know the real truth? Of course I know the real truth. I know everything. Space Ice, are there any videos that rendered at slightly slower speeds? I mean, that's possible. It wasn't intentional and not anything I noticed, but I guess it's possible. You should be able to tell by if the voices are deeper. Nothing sounds right. But I keep going back to that. I don't mess with the speed of the videos. Hi, Space Ice. Why does my spark plug be spitting? That's what spark plugs do. Come on, Randy. The name like Randy, you gotta know about cars. You gotta know this. Hi, Space Ice. Has any filmmaker ever reached out to you for a collaboration? Oh, many times. Well, I have no reason to collaborate with anyone on the film side. They have nothing to offer me. Space Ice, is it true that Samurai Cop is your lost brother? He is not lost. Ooh. Awesome glasses to not see cringe. Space Ice, would you ever review the Michael Bay Transformer movies? Hell yeah, I would. Hell yeah. If someone says you're echoing, don't believe them. Words to live by. Oh God, now am I going this time? You know what? Let's try something real quick. All right, now let me know if this is any better, worse, or whatever. Is it the same? Some say same, some say better. What about now? Okay, so I think I see what was happening. Obviously, since I know everything about computers, it's not my fault. Seagal probably sent one of his guys, and I think had the camera capturing the audio, so I had camera and microphone. Yeah, fucking Seagal's. If something bad happens, it's almost always Seagal's fault. Sometimes it's Rob Schneider, but usually Seagal. JRR in Boston. Are you Seagal's secret love child who he abandoned? Nobody has ever loved Seagal, so that is not possible. Red the Punk Rocker. Space Ice. Which is worse? Steven Seagal's dancing or acting? Oh, that is acting. My God. His dancing is the one almost passable thing, but only because you can laugh at him. Ooh, Sherlock. Hey, Space Ice. Is it true that I pissed my pants in 7th grade? Yes. You were. People still make fun of you to this day, Sherlock. You think anyone forgot about that? No, that's going to haunt you till the day you die. Space Ice. Are you aware that you are using parasocial content generation? Perhaps out Seagaling Seagal? I don't know what any of that means, so no. I'm just going to go with no. LA Sales. Space Ice. What made you want to start your channel? More people need to hear the good word of Van Damme, and Seagal is still out there. So somebody had to do it, and nobody had the balls. Space Ice. Best president of Earth. President Dwayne Elizondo Mountain Dew Camacho or Zorg? Oh, come on. It's always going to be Terry Crews. Terry Crews would be a fantastic president. Hey, Space Ice, who do you think is more full of shit? Steven Seagal or Frank Dukes? I'm going to go with Seagal. So some of Frank Dukes has been retroactively made true ever since Van Damme played him in Bloodsport. So gotta go Seagal. Zachary James asks, hey, Space Ice, do you like the Alien movies? Yeah, if you mean movies with aliens, then sometimes. If you mean the movie with Sigourney Weaver, fuck yeah, I do. If so, it'd be cool to have the best movie ever of Alien and Aliens. I'm going to assume that means yes. Hell yeah, those are amazing movies. Who would win in a fight, Predator or Van Damme? Please, please. Predator's not stupid. He would never fight Van Damme. You kidding me? Space Ice. Does Jason Voorhees have a better chance at finding love than Seagal? Oh, God, yes. Oh, God, yes. Unless you're talking about the love of a cookie, which he loves the fuck out of cookies. It's gonna be Jason. Space Ice. Will Steven Seagal ever overcome his arch nemesis, the staircase? No. No. In fact, he's losing more and more every single day. Hey, Space Ice, aren't you playing a character like Andy Kaufman or Brother Theodore? No one would ever know who you really are. Videos are secondary. Your performance is the key? It's not clear what part of that are questions. I'm not playing a character like Andy Kaufman. I think he wrestled women. I think I could beat women, though, in wrestling. I think I could stand a pretty good chance. But I have not done so yet. I'm assuming that was the question portion. Kimby asks, can a shared love of JCVD heal a world scared, I think he means scarred, by shitty Seagal antics? The love of JCVD can heal all wounds, even Seagal. Space Ice, what is your favorite director? Neil Breen or Uwe Boll? Easily Neil Breen. Easily Neil Breen. Uwe Boll sometimes has stretches of movies that are just boring. They're always terrible, but just boring. Neil Breen movies, as bad as they are never boring. Who's the better action star, Steven Seagal or Betty White? I think Betty White would be insulted if you compared her to Steven Seagal when it comes to action. I don't know if you ever saw The Golden Girls, but she wins in a landslide. Play to all wins. When will you do some Chuck Norris movies? That's a good one. I get a lot of requests for Chuck Norris. I feel like people tried to build him up to Van Damme levels, and he's just not quite there. But I'll say within the next 2 months, I'll do a Chuck Norris movie. Enrique Tenlapko. Are all the things said about Chuck Norris true? Yes, but about Van Damme. A Cage JCVD buddy cop movie with Carl Winslow sounds like a slam dunk. Fuck yeah, it does. Are the Illuminati stopping this because watching that movie on repeat would usher in the next stage of evolution for humanity? That would be the final stage of evolution for humanity. I think we would all die happy. It would be on repeat till we all died the happiest deaths ever. Although, how are you gonna have bad guys? How are you gonna take it seriously that Van Damme and Nicolas Cage are in trouble? I'd still watch it though. I'd still watch it. What do we got here? Space Hunter, please. Okay. Space Ice, are you Neil Breen's evil twin or the good one? I don't have a beard. That should answer the question. In fact, I never had a beard. And if you even approach me insinuating I shaved, I will attack you. Space Ice, who would win? JCVD or... I already know JCVD, doesn't matter. Or would that battle destroy man as we know it? If that man is Chuck Norris, yes, it would destroy that man as we know it. Charlie Brown, hey Space Ice, have you ever been to that bar in Thailand? I wish. Do you know how long the waiting line is for that? I mean, I put my name in. They'll call me when it's ready. I put my name in 27 years ago. I'm sorry, Scarface, that I'm tearing you apart. Someday I'll do The Room. But it's been so overdone that I would still make it better, obviously. But someday. What's up? I think I know where he's going with this. Do you have a favorite dance scene in a movie? You're going for the Pulp Fiction, right? Uma Thurman and John Travolta, but I gotta go with the dance scene in Sudden Death. Yeah, where his daughter gets kidnapped and he flies out to Thailand because he's just fucking sick of her. Yeah. Space Ice, what's your take on the best Death Wish movie? I like the first. That is my take. Ashes, Space Ice, how far out is Shoot 'em Up? I don't know what that question is asking. That movie actually came out, I think, 16, 17 years ago. Roscoe, Star Wars is not overdone. It is not overdone. Most people hadn't heard of it when I made that video. Space Ice, Lethal Weapon movies when? Supposedly they're making a new one, aren't they? God, there's a lot of franchises I gotta get to. It'll probably be... We'll probably round the Chuck Norris video. So, before the end of the year. Alex, I already answered what katana means. I'm fluent Japanese. Everybody knows this. DA, will you do Executive Decision with Kurt Russell? Of course I'll do that movie. Oh my God. I might do that movie like 4 times in a row. And it will get better every time. Space Ice, Back to the Future movies when? I'm starting to get into more sci-fi. It's not really my genre, which is what makes me the best and most qualified to review them. So I'm going to start doing more science fiction movies. Hello there, asks. Space Ice, are you worried that the amount of times you've shown JCVD dancing might make your channel too powerful? I live with that fear every day. Space Ice, will you do the Expendables franchise? Fuck yeah, I will. Especially the second one. Kim North, is this Space Ice? Yes, Kim. This is Space Ice. Space Ice, the upcoming DCU and current MCU, about to top Seagal and nail Breen? Seagal, yes. I don't know about Breen. His CGI looks a lot better. I'm going to be honest. Much better. Ooh, Sherlock. Who would win in a street fight between Amelia Earhart or Steven Seagal? If you mean Amelia Earhart today, I would still go with her. Clarence Over. Space Ice. Thoughts on Alien 3? That is one of the only movies I ever fell asleep in. So, take that for what you will. Space Ice. What is Seagal's race? Every race is Seagal's race. Space Ice 2024. That is correct. Adam A. asks, thank you for your work. You're welcome, Adam. You are very welcome. Space Ice, who would win in hand-to-hand combat, you or Dr. Disrespect? I know very little about him, but obviously me. I would destroy him. You'd be embarrassed. Yeah, he wouldn't even show up, though. What was Van Damme's best scene? Kickboxer or break-in? I've never heard of Kickboxer. Probably Kickboxer, though. Is it true that JCVD kicks are more dangerous than a lightsaber? Jesus, yes, of course. My God, people, these are easy questions. Hey, Space Ice, what is Rob Schneider? Oh, that's a deep question. Is he a carrot? Is he a stapler? Does he just make terrible movies? I think, yeah, you know, he's a derpty-derp, turdiddly-derp. Please watch all Star Wars and make the videos one by one. That's a lot of videos. I might start doing Star Wars and stretch them out a bit, but there's like 9 movies. But, yeah, it gives me something to do. Space Ice, how do you do the enthusiastic, frothing, super excited teenager voice and manner so well? Did you learn acting? I did not learn acting. I taught acting. I taught acting how to be. De La Soul, thank you for making this channel, Steven. Seagal is stocking my fridge from my front porch. Any advice on dealing with this? Seagal is always pulling things like that. He has some weaknesses. I would say order a treadmill and put it outside and just see what happens. I feel like he will not come back. Get rid of your fridge is what he wants you to do, because then it's his fridge. Mr. Space Ice, have you seen the greatest movie of all time? And then he lists a movie that is not the greatest of all time, Stone Cold with Brian Bosworth. So nice non sequitur setup. But yes, I have seen Time Cop. Space Ice needs to make a movie? I like how you threw a question mark at the end after saying a statement. But yes, he does need to make a movie. I think it would be amazing. Space Ice, when did you first fall in love with movies? I believe it was 1989 when Bloodsport was released on VHS. It stuck with me ever since. Dark Angel is very underrated. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but thank you, Highland Laddie, for your contribution. Hey, Space Ice, can you make a video on Furious 7? Oh, hell yeah, I'll make a video on Furious 7. Oh, yeah. Space Ice, would you rather fight Chong Li or Tong Po? Chong Li. Definitely Chong Li. Chong Li has fought Van Damme in multiple movies as the main villain, so I think his experience is better. Sherlock, I already answered the Amelia Hart, Steven Seagal question. My God. Thank you, Perfect Enrager. I do have angelic hair. Holly Perrin saw Space Ice compete about 10 years ago in a taekwondo competition in Long Beach. He spin kicked himself into my heart. I remember that day. I remember that day. Vegan Gains, would you debate me on veganism? Steven Seagal hates vegetables, so you should go vegan. Seriously though, would love to talk veganism with you. I mean, Steven Seagal hating vegetables is a very strong argument. If you wanted someone to go vegan, I would definitely lead with that. BD, love your videos, man. Love from India. Keep them videos coming. I'm a big fan of Neil Breen. Man, you started off so great. Why would you ruin it with a big fan of Neil Breen? I appreciate though. I appreciate that you like me. It just when someone says I like you and Neil Breen, it kind of stings. Space Ice, whose mullet is more powerful grants the most power. Yours or Khan from Star Trek? Mine. I'm not super familiar with Khan. I'm aware of the memes, but I'm not so much aware of the character, but I don't think it matters. Once I saw Time Cop, I had to go mullet for life. Giovanni Ramos, Space Ice, when are you doing more Keanu Moo Space IE? I assume that was supposed to be a V in Keanu movies. Actually, we'll be doing one very soon. Next 2 or 3 weeks will be a Keanu movie. It's like a little independent one you guys haven't heard of, where someone kills his dog. So, Awesome Glasses asks, would you consider reviewing the Uwe Boll movie Postal? I will consider it. Ladlaw71, hey Mr. Space Ice, who would win, Rob Schneider or Steven Seagal? I believe I did a video on that, and Rob Schneider actually lost less, so he's got that going for him. SiftyK, Space Ice, do you have legs or are they CGI? I do have legs. Yes. These are the questions I need to answer. Yes, I have legs. Space Ice, would you consider reviewing Daylight Dante's Peak, Aden Volcano for these 3 disaster movies? Would go perfect. I'm not sure what you're asking there, but sure, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. John asks, would you make a video of Steven Seagal's Under Siege? Love your vids. I've been thinking of doing the Tommy Lee Jones movie Under Siege. I might do that someday. It won't be before too long. Might be by the end of the year. Imagine a mega blockbuster hit movie written by Neil Breen, directed by Steven Seagal, and starring Rob Schneider. Space Ice's mullet would exploded. Okay, I'll ignore the weird tenses. Not a question, but yeah, I think that would. Oh man, there's no way that would get finished. That movie would never get finished. Are you kidding me? I'd love to see the dailies on that though. That would be incredible. Make sure I got caught up on the super chats. Okay. Space Ice, can you tell us about the rabbits? Are you referencing the rabbits in Cliffhanger? Because there's a video series on that rabbit coming up, so just wait for that. Space Ice, would you consider editing some of these viewer questions? The grammar is shocking. I wouldn't say it's shocking. I mean, have you read YouTube comments? This is par for the course. Space Ice's mullet knows no defeat. Fact. What would it take for Steven Seagal to win your approval? He would have to go back in time and do the opposite of everything he's ever done since he was born. Space Ice. Wow. Got a list of movies you can't find? I do not have a list of movies I can't find. Good question, though. Will you review Stop or My Mom Will Shoot? The Sylvester Stallone masterpiece. Yeah, sure, I'll do it. Martha Marcillo, Space Ice. Have you reviewed any of the Rush Hour movies yet? I have not. And that is got Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. Those are gold mine. I probably will at some point before too long. Ever thought of doing any Scott Adkins movies? Ninja movies or Accident Man 2? The clown battle is epic. All clown battles are epic. I might do Scott Adkins. Now he's in that last Universal Soldier. I've been planning on redoing that and the fourth one. So yes, I will do some Scott Adkins. I think he covered Beastmaster. I have not covered Beastmaster yet. Fighting Panda. Did you know you have a fan in Venezuela? I did not know that. Space Ice, keep spreading the good word. I still don't know if I have a fan in Venezuela. Sorry, Andres Rico. My mullet steals lots of girlfriends. Space Ice, I would be interested in your expert opinion on the new Beverly Hills movie. I assume you mean Beverly Hills Cop. Possibly Beverly Hills Ninja, but it's not that new. Though I do like me some Chris Farley. I might do the Italian Stallion Copa Ex Machina. Highland Laddie, Space Ice. Are you worried that Seagal will have Putin's goons use advanced facial recognition technology to have you located and whacked? I am not. At least 4 or 5 of those words seem too long and complicated for Seagal to even know what they mean, so no. Is Space Ice alone or a team? Sam Oldfield really, really wants people to know he asked that question. I did already answer it, though. There's no team. I put the I in team. Space Ice, what would you think of Steven Seagal having a fentanyl lollipop? I don't think he should get a lollipop. Even if it's laced with fentanyl, he should not get the pleasure of a lollipop. Where did the Space Ice name come from? My parents named me. You have to ask them. Where do you stand on lizard people theory? I believe Conan the Barbarian's kind of solved that. It's real. Would you ever review a movie with the So Bad It's Good crew? I don't know who that is. Sure, why not? Space Ice, who was your first movie crush? You guys want me to say Van Damme. I know you guys want me to say Van Damme. But I feel like I don't need to say it. Hey, Space Ice, what do you think of the Big Les show? I have no idea what that is. So I don't think of it. Try video on Bollywood movie. Your mind will go places. There's a couple Bollywoods I'm looking at. Space Ice, have you reviewed The Ice Pirates? If not, would you consider it? I believe that's already a parody and comedy. I try not to do those because I want the jokes to be my jokes and not just setting up jokes that already exist in the movie. That's why I typically stay away from comedies. Space Ice, how do you not have 1 million subs yet? You are super talented. I believe it's a YouTube shadow ban. They know I'll take over. They're trying to promote that Mr. Beast guy, but they know I got the real talent, and they're afraid. Did Space Ice ever play in any stuff? I don't know where you're going with that. It sounds like you could be going bad places. So yes, the answer is yes, though. Maybe break down Jean-Claude Van Johnson. I would love nothing more to do that show. If you guys haven't seen it on Amazon Prime, Jean-Claude Van Johnson, you should stop what you're doing right now and see it. Only problem is it's also a parody, so it's really hard to not just use its own jokes. Space Ice, would you eat pineapple on pizza? I love America, so I would not, ever. Space Ice should review some African movies. Some of those are wild. Oh, okay. I believe somebody asked if there was a movie I couldn't find, and now that you remind me, if somebody has that, I want to say it's from Uganda or something, and it looks absolutely insane and done on less than $100 budget. I would love to do that movie if somebody has it. Space Ice is related to space ghosts. Yes, yes. I don't know if there's a specific space ghost, but yes, my ancestors. Please review Barbecue from Steven Seagal in Attrition. I have no idea what that means. I've done Attrition. I think I've done Attrition twice. If you want me to do it a third time, I don't want to give Steven Seagal that much attention. Has Space Ice earned that 1K sub trophy from YouTube? I don't believe they give 1K sub trophies. So no, I have not. Hey Space Ice, any plans on reviewing the real stuff, like Best of the Best or American Ninja? Yes, I believe I've answered that, but yes. I'm just going to assume everyone who's here has been here since the very beginning of this stream. That's how these usually work. Go watch the OG action movie, The Raid. So I would like to do The Raid as a video, but I don't think they have any in English. I know they have subtitles, but I don't think a subtitle-only video would work out great, but that's been the only reason I haven't done The Raid. Space Ice, should I grow a mullet? You know, they say there are no stupid questions, but then you get something like this. Of course you should grow a mullet. Nobody should ever not grow a mullet. Can you do Under Siege 2 Dark Territory? It was actually pretty good. I will do it, and no, it was not. The movie you're looking for, it's called The Gods Must Be Crazy. That is not the movie I'm looking for. I've heard of that movie. The movie I'm talking about is much lower budget, and it's pure action. Somebody out there must have heard of it. I want to say Uganda, but I'm not positive on that. Space Ice, would you consider reviewing a series, i.e. the Sarah Connor Chronicles? They were great back in the day. I'm actually thinking about doing some TV now. It's going to depend on how The Acolyte did, and people seem to enjoy that. So yeah, we'll start venturing into TV, and I know it's a show. People will like telling me that, oh, this is a show. It's still going to be under best or worst movie ever. Deal with it. What about any Dolph Lundgren movies? Of course I do Dolph Lundgren movies. He-Man is going to be one of the first. Absolutely. The music played during each video is epic. Who made it? I did. It just follows me around. I don't do anything with that music. It's always playing. Space Ice. Any more Steven Seagal videos coming? Yes. I believe I told people The Patriot, not the Mel Gibson one, will be next as a celebration of missing 4th of July by a few weeks. It's what people really want. They want a video as far from 4th of July as possible. So it'll be for the 2025 4th of July, but it'll be this month. Nick, we run a Star Wars channel. Do you mind if we react to your Acolyte video and promote your channel? If you mind, we react to your Acolyte video and promote your channel. I feel like you asked the same question twice. I am fine with anyone reacting to any of my videos. I have zero issues if you want to do a reaction video to my videos. The only things I don't like are when people just post a video as themselves. But yeah, feel free to do any reaction videos to any of my videos. I have zero problems with that. The Ugandan movie is Who Killed Captain Alex? I feel like that's not it, but it could be. Thank you, Awesome Glasses. I feel like you're tricking me, but I still appreciate it anyways. Is that the same person? I don't know. 2 people have said that. It feels like it wouldn't be in English, but maybe it's Who Killed Captain Alex. Maybe they localized it with the leftover $3 they had from their budget. Okay, yeah, everyone's saying Uganda movie. It's free on YouTube. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've seen like a trailer for it or something, and it was absolutely insane, and it was made for me. It was made for me. That's all I'm going to say based on the trailer. I'll eat Parent Space Ice would blush at my reaction video. I don't blush often. If you're doing one of the Van Damme videos, then yes, there's absolutely a portion where I will blush. Space Ice, when will you do a face reveal? I'm super shy. I don't know. I'm just not ready. I'm sorry. I'll let you know when I'm ready. Can you do Showdown in Little Tokyo? I've been planning on that for a while. I like to space my videos out, and that one's just kind of, I'm not sure where it falls. So, like, I don't want to do too many best movies in a row, too many worst in a row. I mean, obviously it would be under best, but, you know, I like to do some of the old ones and something newer. I like to keep things fresh, and that one's just kind of an in-betweener, so it's always one of the top 3 on my list, but it never quite makes it. But yeah, it is on there. How often you gonna be streaming in all caps, says Cloud Boys. Gonna try once a week. Gonna be putting things for people who have questions, and again, I'm assuming I'm just gonna get lots of movie names. That's what I usually get, no matter what I say or ask. But some people ask some questions. I feel like I've touched some people today in a not Dr. Disrespect way, and I think they will be better people for it. Space ice. What is space ice? Space ice is space ice and is not Rob Schneider. Please do bring it on. Antonio Laurie Edward. That is a good good movie. It'll be, you know what? Wednesday. It'll be out Wednesday. I'll do Bring It On out by Wednesday. You are welcome, Klovac. My videos helped you during difficult times. Which has more power, JCVD kick or Russian tank? Come on. I challenge you to come up with, any of you to come up with something that is more powerful than a JCVD spin kick. That is an open challenge. Space Ice, how do we know you are not Van Damme in disguise? His English is much better than mine. Can you please sing a few lines of Tom Petty's iconic hit, I Won't Back Down, for us? I can. I will not, but yes, I can. Space Ice, I know you said no comedy movies, but how about Medea? Well, Medea is not a comedy. I don't believe any Tyler Perry movies are comedies. If you were the twin of Van Damme, what would your superpower? What would be your superpower? Also, have you reviewed Hard Boiled? If I was a twin of Van Damme, every power would be my superpower. And I have not done Hard Boiled. Yeah, I will. John Woo movies are always going to be appropriate for Space Ice. Steven Seagal with a wig. How dare you, RoboHost? How dare you? Of course, this is my real hair, Sam Oldfield. How dare you? Disrespectful question. Both of you. This is more real than Steven Seagal's hair. Steven Seagal's body double has a more powerful kick. Whoever is a mod, could you just kick him out permanently and contact the FBI, please? Thank you. How do you avoid copyright strikes on your video? They get struck or they don't. I don't know. Just put it out there, hope for the best. That's what they do with most things. Space Ice, have you seen Dr. Grande's mental analysis of Steven Seagal? I have not. I don't know who Dr. Grande is. I haven't seen any mental analysis of Steven Seagal. That sounds terrible. Space Ice, have you done a video where you rate mullets? I have not, although it would definitely be filled with Nick Cage and JCVD mullets, and I don't know how to rank those. I would have an existential crisis. JCVD dance and splits is more powerful than JCVD spin kick. I like you, Sifty K. I like you. Love your videos, mate. Thanks for the fun. You are welcome, Mr. Wilson. The island of Dr. Monroe. I think it's Dr. Moreau, but maybe there's a Dr. Monroe. You gotta go there. It's nuts. You'll love it. No. I'm not going to an island someone tells me to go to. Are you real Space Ice or his body double? Space Ice doesn't do body doubles. Come on. Do American Eagles from Kimby T. Do American Eagles cry joyfully when JCVD wakes up each morning? They shed a tear. I wouldn't call it crying. Obviously, they shed a single tear, and they get that little quiver, you know, as it goes down, just the one side of their face. So yes to that. Will you, when Merca needs you most, ever run for president? Also, why do you keep turning it down every election? I have more important things to do than run America. I feel like I would not be a good use of my time. I could touch so many more lives by spreading the good word of JCVD. There's a movie from Finland you should see. It's called Sisu. I really recommend it. I believe I've heard of that. Aren't they killing a bunch of Nazis? That's all I know about it, and it's supposed to be good. I will definitely check that out. Space Ice. Where's the Expendables? I think it's on Amazon. Can you please do Marked for Death and make it sound like Screwface was the hero of the movie? I will do Marked for Death, I believe is what it's actually called. And I'm trying to think if he does anything bad in that movie. I think he might be the hero of the movie. He's fighting against Seagal. I know he slams Seagal's head into glass over and over. So yeah, I mean, that seems doable. Space Ice, could you please do Surf Ninjas? It stars a cyborg Leslie Nielsen and a ginger. I'm well aware of Surf Ninjas. He also has Ernie Reyes Jr. So I can't believe you would leave him out and add Rob Schneider. How dumb were the people in Lionheart to all bet against Van Damme in the final fight? That has been pissing me off ever since I saw that movie. Why are you even allowed to bet on a Van Damme fight? Does somebody just want to lose money? But apparently idiots were going against him, so I guess so. Space Ice, can you do a pilgrimage to Brussels? Yes, that would be a holy experience. I would go to the Van Damme statue. Space Ice, you're famous. Would you at one of those award things punch Ryan Gosling? He's like a kitten or something. Big eyes, but no soul. You want me to punch kittens? I'm not following the metaphor there. He's like a kitten, so I should punch him? Fucking people are sick. You and that horse guy should get together. Point Break! The original, not the crappy remake. Oh, fuck yeah, the original. Got Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves, surfing. Fuck yeah. Space Ice, can you do Transformers? Yeah, sure, why not? You mean the cartoon or the Michael Bay? Because I've never done a cartoon, but I might for Transformers. Space Ice, do your family laugh at your videos too? They'd have to watch them, so no, they don't. Go on holidays? Oh, where does Space Ice go on holidays? Thailand, always Thailand. Can you do Battle Los Angeles? Yes. Yes. David Lynch is very niche. I love him, but a fit for Space Ice? I feel like no. I like David Lynch. I think I could make his movies make sense. A lot of people don't quite get David Lynch, but I think I could get him to see the light. A lot of people didn't realize Tenet was about Boeing, but now they do. Who eats who, Seagal or a black hole? I believe that is redundant. Seagal's acting is like a black hole. Hopefully they annihilate each other. That would be the best case for everybody. Can you do Old Boy, the Korean movie? If there's English version, then sure. Like I said before, I don't really want to do movies where it's all subtitles. That makes it harder, I guess. Well, not so much harder, but less enjoyable for people who only speak English. Would you consider doing a video on McBain starring Christopher Walken? You had me at Christopher Walken. Yeah, definitely. Dear Space Ice, how long did it take to condition your voice in the cinema commentary masterpiece it is today? It took 22 years. 22 years of slow motion yelling. Hi, Space Ice. What is your criteria for a film review? Criteria is that it can be funny. I can make it funny, and that it's not already funny itself to where I'm just setting up the jokes that the movie sets up itself. So I don't want it to be redundant, which is why I don't do comedies. I'm pretty much open to anything else. Space Ice, please do Sniper Spec Ops, Seagal's best movie. That's going to be really low on the list. If you've ever seen it, you'll know it's not just a terrible movie. It's just boring, and he's in it for maybe 5 minutes total. So as far as a Seagal movie, I don't even consider that a Seagal movie. That is a movie where Seagal shows up in the scene, says some stupid things, and leaves. Space Ice, would you consider doing a video of Tropic Thunder in the context of a bunch of dads who got lost on the way to the grocery store? That is a very, very specific question, so probably not. Tropic Thunder is a masterpiece by itself. I don't see how I could take funny bits and just do something that's not its own jokes again. I think I just answered that in a different way. Are you Stevens? Fuck you, Bravo. Fuck you. Space Ice speaks Japanese. If you don't believe me, katana means Japanese sword. So, checkmate. Can you ask Space Ice if he can start covering some sweet, sweet Chuck Norris? I will ask him. Burton's Batman movies, Schumacher's Batman movies, or Nolan trilogy? I don't believe I'm familiar with Schumacher's Batman movies. Ooh, Burton and Nolan. Oh, that's good. The last Nolan was not great. The first two were amazing. Burton's got the nostalgia though, so I might go with Burton just for the nostalgia reasons. Can you do the movie They Live? I believe that's the Rowdy Roddy Piper. Of course, I love Rowdy Roddy Piper. I will definitely do Roddy Piper movies. Please do Solar Babies. Okay. Though about Stephen King movies. The best Stephen King movie is actually a Stanley Kubrick movie. I should actually make a good video. I might do The Shining. That's a good one. Deadfall with Cage is Space Ice material. It's got Cage, so absolutely, I agree. Space Ice, I know you don't do anime, but I think you can make the greatest Dragon Ball Evolution roast to ever exist. Is that like a live action version of it? Because if it is, I'll check it out. What about Nick Cage's Bad Lieutenant? I actually was going to do that one, but starting to feel like it's too hard to get it through the YouTube censors, which is a stupid concern I have. I don't want to be working for 50 hours on a video just to have them say, nope, sorry. Because that's what YouTube does. Oh, hi, Chris G. Hi. How are you? I'm asking you questions now. Chris G, how are you doing? I want to know. Space Ice, is it weird for you to be suddenly famous for your art? No. No, my art deserves it. Space Ice, how about doing a video about falling down? The Michael Douglas masterpiece. Yeah. I mean, yes. Just yes, I will definitely do a video on falling down. Space Ice, could you do the Rocky movies? I would love to do the Rocky movies. Difficult part is the boxing takes up a good 30-45 minutes. And it's hard to get that through the copyright. You can't really just do too much of one thing, but the boxing's like 45 minutes straight, especially in 4, which is the best one, obviously, because he destroys communism. But if I can get it done, maybe I'll combine the Rocky movies. I could do that. There's going to be enough there that I could do a video without having to worry about all that. But that's definitely an idea. Space Ice, would you do The Slacker? Is The Slacker different than Slacker, that early 90s independent movie? Because that sounds very boring. But if The Slacker's different, then maybe. Space Ice, what non-English movies have you watched before? Not Japanese, nor Chinese, not even Korean. Oh boy, I don't even know where you're going with this. What are you asking? What movies in English that wasn't from Korea? I'm assuming you mean South Korea. Japan or China? Terminator. Space Ice, will you do horror movies? Yes, I will absolutely do horror movies. Ricky Rude or The Ultimate Warrior? Ultimate Warrior, not even a question. That dude was nuts. I had like 3 people ask that horror question, but yes, I will absolutely do horror movies. Loving the Kurt Russell look. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Holland Mad Murdoch. You're one of my favorite people right now. Not sure if it's more Snake Plissken or Big Trouble in Little China. Can't go wrong either way. Something about Breakin'. Sensei Ice. Would you ever do a send-up of Breakin'? Not for Turbo or Ozone, but because Van Damme blessed it with a cameo. I believe we're all familiar with the Breakin' scene that he stole the entire movie of. I would probably do that, yes. That movie touched me. Please do Karate Kid 3. The Terry Silver character is hilarious. I do enjoy characters who their entire life revolves around being a teenager in a sport. That is A+. Could you do Kill Bill 1 and 2? Again, the censor thing makes that difficult, but I love those movies and I would absolutely love to do them. Did you drink 2 whiskey bottles and smoke 8 cigars before making each vid? No, I do the non-menthol cigarettes. Sorry. When Steven Seagal asked you to act in one of his movies, would you accept? I think I would. I think I would star in one of his movies, and I would be a difficult pain in the ass, and hopefully I can get back some of the pain he's shown to us. I feel like he wouldn't care, and the movie would just come out a mess like always. I feel like he doesn't do second takes and doesn't care if nothing goes the way it's supposed to. Some channels, from Kim BT, some channels stream films with expired copyright. Would you stream films and do live commentary if you could avoid YouTube copyright strikes? Yes, I would. I don't know how many of those are out there. I mean, I know like Steamboat Willie just became, but that's like 100 years old. But yeah, if there's something out there, I would absolutely do it. Space Ice Dragon Ball Evolution is live action. Only you can make it a masterpiece. Challenge accepted. Space Ice, do you play video games? If yes, what are you playing at the minute? Not as much as when I was younger. I do like the Souls stuff, so right now it's Elden Ring. Space Ice, don't be shy. Tell us your birthday. I think it's coming up on the 22nd of July. Sure, 22nd of July, we'll go with that. That is Space Ice's birthday. Space Ice, who would win in a fight between Chuck Norris and... given those options, Norris, absolutely. Are you Steven Seagal's biggest hater? I am not. No, I believe society as a whole hates him about equally. Shark movies? Yes, shark movies. If you're asking, will I do shark movies? Yeah. The Meg will probably come soon. I like Jason Statham. I like him spin kicking sharks. I mean, there's nothing not to love. Would you agree the world is still waiting for JCVD to do a Time Cop sequel? Oh, the straight-to-video sequel with Jason Scott Lee was an atrocity. Van Damme has already done a Time Cop sequel. It just hasn't happened yet, but he's already done it. Bravo, Space Ice. The Critical Drinker commented on your last video. Are y'all buddies? Yes, we hang out all the time. Do your video voice. Can you please do the voice? I beg you please, can you do Under Siege? Let's see, give me 1 second here. Okay. Sorry. It's getting annoying. Can you do the Space Ice voice? If I can get 3 more people to ask to do the voice, I'll do the voice. Space Ice, where are your mods? I don't know what a mod is, so that's probably one of the issues. Space Ice, thank you for your hilarious breakdowns. Absolutely. I said 3, you got more than 3, you guys failed. Come on. I mean, it was a very simple instructions, and you guys went way overboard. Oh, he's right there. There, he's right there. Whoever was asking for him, he's right there, so I don't know what you want him to do. But he's there. Give him orders or something. Yeah, you can't hear the Space Ice voice already? No, not with mods. I'm too lazy for that. You broke chat, Cornelius. Good job, dickhead. Do the Space Ice voice 3. Oh, okay. You missed it. If you had an X after that, I may have counted it. Steven Seagal in Machete Kills. I like that he dies. I hate that he commits seppuku, or however you pronounce that. Makes it seem like he has honor, which is, we all know, is bullshit. But I do like that he dies. Magic push! Totally forgot about that. It is always the dumbest jokes that are my favorite. The magic push is a good one. Said, I don't think it's a doku. I think that's the game, the math game. Pretty sure it's seppuku. Something with those letters anyways. This live stream is the Space Ice Mega Blockbuster Hit live stream where he showed the world you're all fucking idiots and he has to fix everything. So hopefully that works. That was from the heart. Oh boy. No, Chris, I won't do the voice. You should do the acolyte. I will not do the acolyte. I refuse. Every hack is doing the acolyte. That's for losers. I don't do that shit. Space Ice ist Krieg. Thank you, my German friend. Sorry, JW Booth, but it was me the whole time. Don't you look stupid now? Space Ice. What advice do you have for your fans that are still trying to shed a few extra pounds after the holidays? Be less fat. Big fan from India. Space Ice. Oh, Kurt McGirt. You. I see that question. Matrix trilogy. I've actually thought about doing the Matrix. The first one obviously is amazing, and then it goes downhill fast, but might be the first ever best movie ever to worst movie ever transition. But I think I could get it done. Space Ice, what do you think about the Warriors? If you mean the basketball team, I think they're over. I think their dynasty's done for. If you mean the movie about the gangs, it's incredible. Randy, you're crazy, man. I like you, but you're crazy. Thank you. Can you clap like Van Damme? I wish. If I could do anything like Van Damme, that is all I would ever do. Space Ice, what were you doing before you made YouTube videos? I was watching Van Damme movies, obviously. Nicolas Cage. Feeling like a loser. Now I'm not a loser. I can spread my knowledge to all the losers out there. Space Ice versus woke Disney series. I feel like I just did that. Space Ice, have you seen there's a channel that's copying your style, even down to copying your "is so bad that it" title? I believe it. There's been a few of those. As long as they're not stealing things word for word, I don't care that much. But if they're just taking the style, if they can improve it, go for it. I doubt they can, but they can give it a shot. Space Ice, favorite basketball team. Oh, man. Which team do I hate the least? Oh, boy. I'm going to go... What's a terrible team that just has no chance ever? I'll go Raptors. I don't know why. No reason. I don't like anything about them, but I'll just go with them. Milwaukee, I guess. Yeah, I haven't watched basketball in many years, so... Long live Space Ice. Thank you, Talia. Space Ice, what is the best Van Damme movie and why is it Bloodsport? I answered this earlier. You must not have been in chat. You must have been putting out a fire or something. That's your only excuse that you could have. It's the one where he goes to Thailand and changes the world. Space Ice, any reviews on Jackie Chan movies? Yes, absolutely. I love Jackie Chan. Space Ice, you mentioned you like Statham. How about doing Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch? Those are two incredible movies, and I will definitely do them. Space Ice. Well, these are all just movie names. You guys are smart. Now you're just making the video names and the questions. I like it. Dr. Froggle, PhD. You should dub all of Steven's lines in a film. 10 out of 10. Yes, I agree. I should. Space Ice, can you please do a clip that can be used for an answering machine? People still use answering machines? Come on, Jimmy Johnson. Get with it. I haven't had this answering machine in, oh my God, 30 years? Would you fight Steven Seagal in a cage fight if given the chance? 100%. I would fight him today in a cage. I would fight him anytime, any place, cage or no cage, especially in Nicolas Cage. Slove life's greatest mysteries. Yes, Truth Hunter, yes, I slove life's greatest mysteries. I have never met Seagal. Space Ice, can I have your job? It's great. No. Armenia, you're awesome. Yes. If you want to skyrocket your subscribers, do Space Ice versus Bollywood. I don't know what I'm doing versus Bollywood. Am I fighting Bollywood? I'll fight Bollywood. Is Bollywood here right now? I'll fight you. I will fight Bollywood anytime, any place. I'd rather fight Seagal, but if Bollywood wants to go, I'll go. Space Ice, are you, oh boy, worry-ice about Chris Stuckman? I don't know who Chris Stuckman is, but I am not worry-ice about him. Jimmy Johnson. Oh, he talked to his grandkids. Can you please do a clip that can be used for my iPhone outgoing message? What could I do for that? Sorry, Jimmy Johnson is past his nap time and then has to take his pills. Call back later. There you go. Just for you, Jimmy. Dogs or cats? Are we talking about a fight? Dogs, typically. If we're talking about like a lion, yeah, I'm going with a lion. So if we're talking about just the house pets, I think the dog would win in a fight most of the time. Super Nino wants me to talk to dead people. That's kind of weird. I don't really do seances. So no, I guess not. Space Ice, did you used to have a podcast? I did like 2 episodes of a podcast. So sort of. It was a much different style too. It was more of the Judy Winslow style. I might get another one going for the better Space Ice that I am today. But currently there's maybe 1 or 2 episodes floating out there somewhere. I don't even have them. Freddy versus Jason. That was a bad movie. Voice TY. Seagal versus Cookies. I think we did this before. If we're talking about a fight, then it's definitely Cookies. If we're talking about what's more delicious, probably Cookies. And if we're talking about the better movies, it's also Cookies. Who would win in a fight between a tiger and a bear? Siberian versus grizzly. That's a good one. Grizzly bears are nasty. Tiger, Siberian tiger, they are no joke. I'm going to go. I think the grizzly might have it. I'm thinking for a tiger, their best bet would be just go for the throat, which they can probably get to. But the grizzlies are stronger than shit. So even if it's on the throat, it can still fight it off. They might both die, but I don't see a scenario where the tiger doesn't die. So these are the questions I'm looking for, people, the hard-hitting questions. Oh, thank you, Halo. If you guys haven't realized, there's memberships open now, and you can get sweet emojis, which all the cool kids want. Jimmy Johnson, your grandchildren, ask them about emojis. They'll let you know. I also can get the videos a day early, and that's about all I got. Space Ice, what is your favorite movie car of all time? DeLorean, Back to the Future, are you kidding me? Not only does it have the wing doors, but it fucking goes back in time. Oh, look at Del Rosda. Look at those emojis. My God. Del Rosda, you look awesome. I don't know what Fist of the North Star is, but yes, we'll go with yes. Space Ice, do you actually love the movies you call the best, or are you just hemming it up for comedy? I'd say there is one movie that was clear sarcasm, but you guys can guess which one that is. Otherwise, it's where I'm leaning towards. So there's some examples like The Sixth Day. Maybe not the best movie ever, but it's better than it is bad. But some are right in the middle. Like, you got to make a choice, and you know what? You make a choice and you live with it. You don't backtrack. You never second guess, and you never apologize. Men don't apologize. Your top 3 action movies of all time, go. Time Cop, Bloodsport, and is it Double Team? Oh, it's one of the doubles. Either Double Team or Double Impact. I'll go Double Impact because it's 2 Van Dams. Do Hot Tub Time Machine? As a question, that confuses me. If you're asking if I've done it, no. If you're asking me if I'll do it, I haven't seen it in a while, but I try not to do comedies unless I can make the comedy my own, not just use the movie's comedy. So that might be difficult, but I'll take a look at it, and if I think I can make it funny using my own jokes, I'll do it. I know you mostly do oldies and goodies, but you should absolutely check out Boy Kills World. It got slept on when it came out. I've heard of that, but I have also not seen it, and I know nothing about it other than the title. I was hoping it was one of those movie sequels, The Boy Meets World, and was very disappointed. Space Ice, what is your favorite dinosaur? T-Rex. Everyone's is the T-Rex. Come on. I mean, I can see the raptor because it's sneaky and it'll kill you without you knowing, but no, the T-Rex. Space Ice, you look like Gary Daniels. I don't know who that is, but I'll take it as a compliment. Space Ice, how many tablets of Viagra do you think Neil Breen takes per week? If he takes it, he must be very sad afterwards. I don't know what he would be taking it for. Who would win in a fight? You or Johnny Lawrence? I would destroy Johnny Lawrence. I would destroy Johnny Lawrence. He got beat just because Ralph Macchio cheated and kicked him in the face once. You got to be able to handle cheating. If you're a real champion, you handle cheating. Oh, thank you, Dimitrov. I don't know you well enough to know if I like you or not, but I might. Space Ice. Snake Plissken versus Mad Max. Ooh. I mean, I believe Mad Max has 2 eyes, but that's Plissken. It's Plissken in a landslide, too. I like Mel Gibson, but he's no Snake Plissken. Does doing the Space Ice voice hurt your throat? No, it actually makes it feel better. It's like a throat massage. Space Ice, how could you leave Sudden Death out of your top 3? Sudden Death is the greatest of the Die Hard type movies that isn't Die Hard. You could even get rid of the that isn't Die Hard part and be correct. It's because Van Damme has done a lot of movies, and you gotta narrow it down to 3. Time Cop changed everything we know about science. Double Impact has 2 Van Dammes. And I don't remember what the third one was, but I'm sure there's a good reason for it. Holy crap, way more people that last week. Congrats, man. Apparently if you plan to do something, it works better than if you just hit the wrong button and are suddenly live streaming to people. Sensei Scott, motherfucking Farkas, or Carl motherfucking Winslow? Who wins? Carl motherfucking Winslow, are you kidding me? Oh my god. You saw what he did to crime in Chicago. It's non-existent now. Farkas has no chance. Farkas has yellow eyes and got his ass beat by Ralphie. That's a slaughter. What's your favorite word? Damn versus son of a bitch. Son of a bitch is multiple words, but I like the phrase better. Now, if you're talking about Van Damme, D-A-M-M-E, then it's damn. So you gotta be more specific. The sound of damn, but son of a bitch is my favorite thing to put in the video. Space Ice, are you banned from any country? Yes. That's all I want to say about that. Space Ice, when will you be in Thailand next? My next trip to Thailand will be the 2nd week of August. Space Ice, you never mentioned the glorious Maximum Risk. It's got 2 Van Dammes and Natasha Henstridge with her clothes off. I have done 2 videos on Maximum Risk. How dare you say I forgot about it? Neil Breen interceded to give us the Space Ice live stream. It was definitely a Neil Breen move. His computer, he is the greatest hacker ever of all time, ever that's ever been around, ever. I don't know if you guys have seen his DirecTV dishes, because if you doubt him, he's got like 4 of them. Space Ice. So what are life's greatest mysteries? I think I solved them. It had something about syphilis, I believe, and something about someone taking a guy's money in a theater because he was watching a Seagal movie and then stole his car or something like that. I don't remember. It was something like that. Space Ice. Are you the same guy in the videos? If you mean that does the voice of the videos, yes. I don't believe I've done any of my own movies, which are out there. You can find them. But I've not done any of my own movies yet. Who would you say is your second most hated next to Seagal? Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, it's like Seagal, then... I mean, Seagal should probably take the top 5 spots. It should just be top 5 of Seagal. Might be Farkas. We have a beef. Might be Farkas. I don't actually hate Rob Schneider. I hate his movies with a passion. But he's all right, I guess, as a person. So we'll go Farkas. He's trying to ruin me. Space Ice. I think someone just asked favorite Van Damme movie. Double Impact, 2 Van Dammes, can't beat it. Unless you get a 3 Van Damme movie. Oh my god. It is a glorious mullet, I agree. Nate, thank you for your content and your voice. Oh, you are very welcome, Nate. Thank you for your contribution. Ezra Miller. No, I don't really hate Ezra Miller. I don't really think about Ezra Miller very much. Seems like he's insane, but yeah, I just don't really think about him. Space Ice, have you done The Last Boy Scout? Not yet. I plan on doing more Bruce Willis. Space Ice, is it true Neil Breen refused to sell you a copy of the latest movie? That is actually true. Cade the Tortured Crossing, I tried to order it the first day it was out. I have a PayPal account that every now and then people will just throw a few bucks to for my videos. So I just used that to pay for it. Waited for about 3 weeks and got a message saying I will not be selling this to you, refunded from Neil Breen. And it was because, I'm guessing because it came from Space Ice, because that was the name, the PayPal name said. So yeah, that is absolutely true. But I still don't hate him because he's a clueless old man. How do you hate an old man with dementia like that? Space Ice, come out and play. You have a similar face to that guy. Is that the Warriors reference? Not really a question, but okay. Thank you. Space Ice, will you do ZSJL? Zack Snyder Justice League? Ooh, that's like 4 hours, isn't it? I could probably do that. Is Space Ice a cyborg from the future? No, not from the future. Space Ice, thoughts on The Last Action Hero? No offense, Arnie, it stink. Last Action Hero is not a bad movie. I don't think people realize it's kind of a self-parody. The stupid parts are intentional. It's actually a good movie. Space Ice, what state do you live in? Oh, man, you guys are stalking me now. Nevada. That's all you guys get. Space Ice, what's your favorite Steven Seagal movie? If we're going to count Executive Decision, then that. If not, we're going to go Foreigner, just because it is so stupid and over the top. It wins the most stupidest, the most over the top, most what the fuck is happening movie he's ever done. Space Ice, can we expect a Machete review in time? I don't know what the time limit is. Yeah, you gotta let me know what that time limit is. But you can expect a Machete review, but I don't know what the time frame is, so maybe. Space Ice, will you do live-action Transformers movies? Hell yeah, I will. Ooh, Space Ice, favorite Clint Eastwood movie? Probably Unforgiven. I'm a simple man, Unforgiven. Space Ice, who will win the 2024 presidential election? Oh, nice try, Seagal. Not happening. Space Ice, can you just spend a few dollars and make movies like Neil Breen? As long as I get the change back, yes. Space Ice, what inspired you to do a channel like that? I was watching a Van Damme movie. I think it was Universal Soldier, and the bus was about to go over the cliff, and he did the craziest thing. He went to Thailand, and if you guys haven't seen Universal Soldier, go watch it now. I don't want to spoil it, but I just, at that point, I had to. Fantastic Max. How did you initially find Neil Breen movies? It was from viewers kept telling me to do Neil Breen movies. And I had never heard of him in my life. And every now and then, viewer comments, they're actually good. Almost never, but sometimes. It happens once in a blue moon. Patrick Swayze is manly. Don't you ever say he's not. Did Nicolas Cage pay you $500 to make fun and pity Neil Breen? No. No, Nicolas Cage has way more important things to do. He doesn't know who Neil Breen is, please. Space Ice, best James Bond actor. I know it's cheap, and everyone says it, but Connery. It's got to be Connery. Oh, this, thank you, Conrad, getting us back on track. Would you consider maple syrup a condiment or a topping? It's a topping. It's not a condiment. If you're Steven Seagal, it can be a condiment because he probably puts that shit on everything. But for most people, it's a topping. Space Ice, is Schindler's List a love story? Oh, spaghetti. Oh, spaghetti. It is not a love story. My God. You guys are trying to get me trouble here. Not falling for that one. Universal Soldier 2 traumatized me when I watched it as a kid. It depends on if you mean the return or you mean the direct-to-TV ones. Both of those will scar you. Nintendo or Sega? Sega even still around? I guess Nintendo? I don't know. Space Ice. What if Steven Seagal was elected president of USA in 2028? I don't think he would do anything. I think we'd actually be safe. I mean, doing anything would take effort, so he ain't doing it. So that would actually be okay. Whoa, somebody disliked Cage. How you could dislike Cage hurts my soul. Like, there's no valid reason. Everything he has done has always been awesome. Space Ice, will you do a video on Hardcore Henry? I've seen Hardcore Henry. I enjoy Hardcore Henry. I will take up that challenge. It's going to be a challenge just because the way it is, but I will absolutely give that a shot someday. Some are challenges that I just don't want to deal with, and some are challenges I look forward to. That's a look forward to challenge. Favorite John Wick film? For total movie, the first. It's the best total movie. Just pure crazy action, it's 4. The story gets dumber, and more ridiculous, but the action tends to get better, which I will take that trade any day. Space Ice, are good action movies ever going to come back? No. I mean, they might be enjoyable again, but they're not going to be Van Damme in his prime, which is always. They're not going to be like that again, so we just got spoiled. You guys should have appreciated it while we had it. American Lion versus English Gorilla. Who wins? American Lion. American Lion slaughters, embarrasses English Gorilla. Makes him look like an idiot. He clowns him the whole time. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Best movie ever. Review soon. Ignoring the terrible grammar. Yeah, sure, why not? Who wins in a fight between Paul Blart and Seagal? Paul Blart is more of a real cop than Seagal ever will be. If evolution is real, why are there still potatoes? Convinced me. I'm sold. Space Ice. I think you guys are just misspelling things on purpose now. Please do. Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Slayer. I haven't done documentary biographies yet, but that might be my first. Space Ice. What Nick Cage character would you want to be roommates with? Ooh, boy. Well, Stanley Goodspeed's got the science knowledge, but I gotta go Cameron Poe. He's got the mullet. He's got the spot-on accent. He's got everything you would want. So, Cameron Poe. We'd be mullet bros. Space Ice. Will you still review movies from the film roulette like Ruhi? I've been thinking about that for a while. It's not something I've ruled out that I won't do. So we'll just leave it at that. I'm still open to it. Space Ice. When you're feeling down, do you go to Thailand, train as a kickboxer, and get drunk at bar? Everything but the train as kickboxer part is pretty accurate. Space Ice. What is your favorite movie monster? Seagal is my least favorite monster. My favorite movie monster could have been Predator, but it's not. We'll go the Nightwolves from Helen Keller versus Nightwolves. I have goddamn arc eyes. Will Van Damme be able to sort this issue out? I mean, I don't know what arc eyes is, but it's Van Damme, so yes. Yes. Oh. Freaking Nick. Is this another question, Nick? Trump or Biden 2024? I know you're a Seagal plant. I know you are. And it's not happening. Sorry, sir. Sorry. I'm doing a write-in like I always do for Van Damme and Nicolas Cage. I know Van Damme's not eligible, but would you say no? If he got the popular vote, would anyone say anything about that? Fuck no. Rob Schneider or Space Ice? You're asking me? I'm going to go with myself over Rob Schneider. What a weird question. Space Ice, have you ever met Hasselhoff? I've seen him in person. I've not met him. He was very intoxicated. Space Ice, could Van Damme resurrect his career if he got a stash and did westerns? Van Damme has no career that needs to be resurrected. Are you kidding me? Did you not see Darkness of Man? He's on top of his game. Could you add Drive with Ryan Gosling to your list of movies to do? Sure. Space Ice, favorite movie weapon. If we're counting spin kicks, then I think we know the answer to that. I'll go with that. Yeah, spin kicks. Any movie with a spin kick is automatically better than any movie without a spin kick. Do you think Putin would invite Ukraine if he knew that JCVD was there? If Van Damme was there, of course he would invite Ukraine. He didn't invite Ukraine over all the time. They'd be getting annoyed of him. Space Ice, would you rather get roundhouse kicked by Van Damme or Swayze? Good one. Van Damme, I mean, I'm going to die and explode, but it'll be the most awesome death ever. So, yeah, I'll take the exploding spin kick from Van Damme. Space Ice, what is your OnlyFans? It's out there. You can find it. You can find it. Come on, Van Damme versus RoboCop? You guys just want people to get beat up by Van Damme. Ooh, Steven Seagal or Helen Keller? If you mean Helen Keller as she is today, then still Helen Keller. Space Ice, do you work in the medical field? No, I work in the YouTube field. Nickelback fronted by Rob Schneider versus Steven Seagal. That might actually improve Nickelback. Either way, them over Seagal. Play patty cake with Seagal. I would never play patty cake with Seagal. There's a Russian remake of Commando called D-Day or Den-D. It'd be absolutely hilarious if you covered it. If it has at least English dubs, I'll consider it. Space Ice, one last question. Please explain the spark plug reference. So it turns out things weren't going right, and they had no idea why. It was spitting. The spark plug was spitting. That was the issue. So I'm glad I could clear that up. Space Ice, please consider reviewing a South Indian movie. I think I know the geography of India. You think I'm worried if it's North or South India? Hey, Space Ice, Black Dog needs your touch. I don't like the sound of that. I don't know where you're going with that, but no. I'm going to say no. Van Damme. There you go, Mr. Pinto. I might do Enter the Dragon. Bruce Lee's good. Oh my God. Space Ice, better mullet. Kurt Russell or JCD? I know what you're trying to say with JCD. That's a tough one. I gotta go Van Damme though. Russell fucking killed it, but I gotta go Van Damme. I don't know what Agent Recon is. Maybe. Any chance you'll do Man of Steel? Is that the Superman movie? Because if so, there's a decent chance. Hey, Space Ice. I get this question sometimes. Would I consider doing Tommy... I never know how to pronounce that. We'll say Wazoo's The Room. And it's a movie I would like to do, but it's also a movie that has been done 8 million times. And I don't know if there's anything new I could say about it. But I'd like to. Van Damme versus Batman. Come on, Van Damme. Why do you guys keep asking these? It's going to be... There's nobody's going to beat Van Damme. Let's get real now. Would you go drink with Steven Seagal? No, I would not. I'd be able to smell him. It would ruin the drink. I wouldn't want to be there. It would just be a terrible time. Dredd over Judge Dredd. Okay, Roland Emmerich. So he did Independence Day. Godzilla. If that was the 90s one with Matthew Broderick, oh God, that's bad. Probably Independence Day. That's the one I remember the best. And that seems like it has some good stuff in it. If I was doing a Roland Emmerich movie, Tommy. Oh, I saw the Volva ad. I did. Trust me, I saw it. Everyone's seen it. It's incredible. What movie goes well with s'mores? Finally, a good question. If you're going to have s'mores, it's Cyborg. It will always be Cyborg with s'mores. Data Ninja. Space Ice is fire. Do you write your own material? I try and steal most of my material if I can. I usually look up old Dane Cook comedy routines and I steal from him. Jazz, you're getting crazy. Thinking Sensei Seagal will kick my ass? I'd have to be laying down for him to even get his foot that high. Thank you, Killer Robs. Said I look like a Mel Gibson and Joe Dirt combination. I appreciate that. Ooh, Bloodsport JCVD versus Kickboxer JCVD. Oh boy. I think Kickboxer JCVD starts doing the dance right in the middle. So I gotta go with Kickboxer JCVD. Space Ice, what would you say if Seagal came out with a mullet? I'd say that's not his fucking mullet. I don't know if you've seen Seagal. He was bald like 30 years ago. None of that is real. Anyone that would use a fake mullet is just embarrassing. A guest at your birthday party, Seagal or Joe Biden. Who do you pick? Seagal's going to smell a lot worse, so I guess Biden. I would not really want to talk with either of them. I mean, you wouldn't be able to understand what either of them are saying, so I guess it wouldn't matter. Holly Perrin is my writer-producer and future ex-wife, so if you guys have any questions, she's right there. What are your thoughts on Turbo Kid? I've never seen Turbo Kid, so I have zero thoughts on it. Underworld versus Resident Evil. Oh boy, I've not seen the Underworlds. So Underworld, by a huge margin. Resident Evil, oh my God. Just when you think they can't get any worse, they come out with a new movie and you look stupid. Nate Halstead, I got to know. How did you develop the voice? Did it just come to you one day? I was actually born with my voice. Ever since I started talking, I had a voice, and it just gets better and better. I appreciate the question. I'm glad you people are shouting magic push at people. More people need magic push in their life. Turbo Master, are you not afraid? I assume that's what you're trying to spell there. That's a lot of misspellings. Are you not afraid that Disney will try to take your channel down for your Acolyte review? If they do, it's worth it. Fuck them. Space Ice, can we get you to do your version of the rundown? Do you mean make my own movie similar to the rundown? Or do you mean cover it as a video? Because either way, the answer is yes. I'm not missing any super chats. Okay. Has Bro made a review on that movie, Solo? I have not. Acolyte's the first Star Wars thing I did, because I don't really care one way or another about Star Wars, and I don't know much about it, which is when I decided I would be the perfect one to review it. Space Ice, will you ever do commentaries on other shows and movie series like Shark Tornado? I think you mean Sharknado, and yes. I mean, I don't know if anyone should sully the great name of Sharknado, but I think I can do it respect. Space Ice, you should go to Dubai, meet with Seagal, and show him one of your reviews in person. I'm pretty sure Seagal's not there. And I'm not flying out of the country to meet with Seagal. All of that sounds terrible. I would like him to see one of my reviews, though. So if I could be guaranteed he would watch the whole review, it would be worth it, maybe. My shirt, it says Iceman. Come on, guys, Iceman. How do you keep your mullet so damn badass? When you get a mullet, the mullet takes care of itself. You don't really have to do anything. Trust me. If you guys don't have mullets, you should. Are there still Neil Breen movies Space Ice needs to cover? Unfortunately not. I have exhausted the Neil Breen cinematic universe. When I did that Cade video, that movie had just come out, and I paid for it the day it came out, and like I said the story before, he doesn't appreciate my reviews. Space Ice, sir, can you cover the Barbie movies? Is there more than one, or are you talking about the cartoons? Space Ice, you've entered the Kumite, and you're up against Chong Li. How does this fight last? So I throw powder in my own eyes as intimidation, and then I just beat the shit out of him. Thank you for the question, though. In fact, I start most fights by throwing powder in my own eyes. Confuses them. Keep doing Disney Plus. I might. The Acolyte was actually surprisingly easy to do. I have never done stand-up comedy. Like I said before in my hilarious joke, I do sit-down comedy. Kings of Leon versus Good Taste. Who wins out? Please say it's Good Taste. I believe the band Kings of Leon. Yeah, I'll agree with you. Good Taste. It should win. It doesn't always, but it should. Space Ice, would you trust Steven Seagal to save the world? If the world is about to be destroyed by a jelly donut, 100% I trust him. If it's literally anything else, I do not. Would you consider reviewing Birdemic? Thank you, the Dark Paragon. Sure. And Turbo Mama Master. I could give a thumbs up to you guys. There you go. Thank you. Could have asked the question, but you know what? My man just wanted to give me 10 PLNs, whatever that is. Space Ice, how come you coach him, but not me? I have no idea what you're talking about. But I like him more, so deal with it. I'm an AI avatar, Yog Sagyeth. You think anyone could actually look this awesome? Space Ice, will you review Finding Nemo? Steven Seagal's play in this movie. Oh, 7 seagulls. Oh, you got me on that one. I'm used to you guys not spelling anything right. I'll put it on the list. We'll see when I get around to Finding Nemo. Mohammed asks, Sir, How did you start your Steven Seagal hate career? Like most people, I saw one of his movies, and it was just hate at first sight. Ooh, Space Ice, Judas Priest, or Iron Maiden? Iron Maiden. Not as difficult as it seems. Space Ice. If JCVD were to combine powder blindness kumite and screaming with drunken style dance fighting, would the world handle it, or would we all melt like the guy in Raiders of the Lost Ark? I think if there were anyone other than Van Damme with that level of awesomeness, the world would melt. It would actually more like explode, more like implode. But I think Van Damme could pull it off. So yes, it's something we would all love to see, and Van Damme would protect us. Van Damme will always protect us. The Guyver movies would be dope. Space Ice. I don't know what that is, but sure, it'll be dope. The Dark Paragon's got, maybe this is what he meant to say. 1, how do you develop the voice? 2, how long does it take you to make your videos? You just got to go deep down to a level of awesome you don't think you have and just push it out. And it takes me roughly 50 to 60 hours for a video. Unshaven One tries to claim Seagal is a world-class martial artist. I will just end it at that. I feel like he's trolling us, so. Okay, Unshaven One. Will you ever review Mark Dacascos movies like Double Dragon or Drive? Yes, I actually will do Double Dragon before too long. Is he the guy from Only the Strong that does the Brazilian dance fighting? Because that movie's overdue as well. Your Steven Seagal hatred has saved me plenty of times, as it has most people. You are welcome. Samurai Cop was lit and still is. Will you review Nick Cage's recent classic, The Retirement Plans? Oh, hell yeah. Anything Nick Cage, I will review. You just can just say, will you review Nick Cage, and you just end it there. The answer will always be yes. Tool, 9 Inch Nails, Tool, or Ministry? Oh, that's a tough one. Probably 9 Inch Nails. I like Reznor. A JCVD trained kickboxer versus JCVD Jr. JCVD Jr. has half the genes of JCVD, so that is not even a contest. Is Mr. Seagal a creation of the Matrix, but we'd be all Wadley Slapper people? I don't know if that's a question. It starts off with is, but yeah, I don't know what you're asking with that one. But I like the fact that you put Seagal and Wadley Slapper people together, so I'm going to go yes with that. That's a good combination of words. How long does it take for a Seagal lobotomy? If you mean a lobotomy on Seagal, that's kind of redundant. There's instantly, I guess. Based on your review of Tenet, do you plan on reviewing more Christopher Nolan movies? Yes, absolutely yes. Definitely an Inception and Memento coming at some point. Maybe Prestige, but definitely those first two. My spark plug is spitting like crazy. Any advice? Stay out of its way. Don't be stupid. Don't try and be a hero. You will die. Diego Castaneda, hey Space Ice, I'm a big fan. I shill your channel whenever I can. You're a good person then. Thank you for your service. No, thank you, sir. These are some weird questions. I like it. Have I ever gotten into a car accident? No. But I need to. Make me feel like I'm missing out. Is Neil Breen your father? You think Neil Breen has kids? Come on, man. Neil Breen have kids. That's hilarious. Thoughts on the Room movie? I actually haven't seen the entire thing. I got maybe 6 minutes in, and it was like the fourth love scene, and figured, okay, I'm done. I was waiting for it to get bad, but it was too bad for me to get to the badness. Space Ice, thoughts on the clown show referred to as the presidential debate. Is society doomed? Um, aren't all presidential debates clown shows? Has there ever been a presidential debate where you just felt great afterwards? I mean, we're just as doomed as we've always been. Trying to find the unmitigated disaster. Any merch on the way? Actually, yes. I don't know when, but it is actually in the works. If you considered reviewing retro movies, i.e. Planet of the Apes, 1968. And I've done plenty of old movies. So sure, I'll consider it. Neil Breen and Gypsy Rose's mom had a kid, and it's Space Ice. There's no way that's a compliment. I'm going to assume that you mean that as a compliment, but there's no way that's a compliment. Would you consider reviewing Surf Nazis Must Die? It's terrible and from the 80s. I think it would be right up your alley. There's no way a movie called Surf Nazis Must Die is terrible. There's just no way. But I will think about doing it. I would like to do some of those more ridiculous movies. Would you consider reviewing Steven Seagal Lawman? Yes. I don't know how I would do it, but it would probably be like The Acolyte, where I combine a lot of videos into one, or a lot of episodes into one and call it a movie, because people seem to love that. But yes. Space Ice, would you agree Mortal Kombat is the best sub 6.0 IMDb rated movie of all time? I'm waiting for your review. I would not agree with that, but I might do the review. Space Ice, have you ever saved a life by playing an awesome bass solo? Yes. Every time I play a bass solo, it saves a life. Trying to find questions. A lot of people are just throwing question marks on statements. You guys are so sneaky. Would you consider reviewing Kung Fury? I think that's such a parody and so over the top that there's nothing I could do to make it more insane and over the top. If I could, I would absolutely do it, but it would be a lateral move at best. Banger, are you watching bad movies all day? No, sometimes I do Van Damme and Nicolas Cage movies, so it's not always. Space Ice, would you do the voice? Yes. Steven Seagal or Justin Bieber? Luckily, I know nothing about Justin Bieber other than he's a singer, so I guess I'll go Justin Bieber. I have no reason to actively hate him. Hi, Space Ice. If you could go back in time and recast a movie, which would you pick JCVD in? That's obviously above the law. Do you know how much heartbreak would be spared if that was a Van Damme movie? Oh my God. We'd be living in Nirvana right now. Space Ice, if free will is the cause of all sin and heaven is sin-free, is everyone in heaven a mindless zombie? No. Boom. Any other questions? Space Ice, I heard a rumor Seagal hooked up with Melissa McCartney. Do you think she even had a chance? I have no idea who that is, but I'm going to say yes. I think she had a chance. Will you review Michael Jackson Moonwalker? I mean, it's already almost perfection. The part where he throws the quarter and it goes right into the jukebox. How do you improve that? Or he turns into like a robotic bunny and flies away? Some of these things you just can't improve on. You should do Balls of Fury. Please with a question mark. That's not a question. That's just telling you to do something. Favorite cut of steak. Oh, man. These are the tough ones. Anything that's done medium. Anyone that gets a well-done steak, I don't ever look at me, don't talk to me. I don't want... I don't really know much about cuts of steaks. I'm a guy. I just... whatever. I review Ghost Dog. How do I know you're the real Space Ice? You don't have to know. That's the beauty of life. You don't have to know if I'm the real Space Ice or not. Life will still go on. You haven't seen Underworld and don't know what Guyver is. Anything else significant or popular you haven't seen? No, just those two things. Those are the only two. Will you review Jim Carrey Sonic movies? Yes. Would you rather see a predator kill Seagal or JCVD kill a predator? Predator kill Seagal. I feel like I've seen JCVD do way more impressive things than that. So it'd be cool to see, but the predator getting Seagal would be too good. Mr. Space Ice, has life been good to you? And are you happy? Yes and yes. Thank you, Philip. Finally, somebody asks me if I'm happy. Best Hooters, Seagal or Chris Farley's Ghost? Oh, Chris Farley's Ghost. By far. Would you consider doing Cynthia Rothrock movies? Thank you kindly, sir. She was in Darkness of Man. So she was another one of those very distracting cameos. Like Nick Diaz is the cashier of the Korean place. So I've done one already. I might do another. Space Ice, are you watching bad movies sober? Yes. Yes. Space Ice, do you ever laugh at the shit you say in videos and have to record it over again? LOL. Not very often, but it is the dumb jokes. The dumbest jokes make me laugh, and I have to get myself together. Things like Slappity Slap is one of those. Double Chop, if you guys remember the Maximum Conviction. It's always the dumbest jokes that make me laugh the most. Eric Burns wants in a world. In a world! It's not really my phrase, but there you go. I'll do other people's phrases for you. Trying to find out which of these are questions. Do you ever fight ninjas? I don't go a day without fighting at least 3 or 4 ninjas. Space Ice, do you like retro games like Doom or Quake? I don't know. I haven't played any of those since I was a kid. But yeah, I liked them then. Does it bother you watching Steven Seagal movies sober? Yes. You could take the word sober out of that and add literally anything else, and it would still be yes. I don't believe I have a favorite line. Problem with my lines is I say them so often that by the time the video's done, they stop being funny to me. How much power does that mullet give you? It gives me... Pretty much all my power comes from my mullet. Before the mullet, I was just a loser like all you guys. And then I got the mullet, and the rest is history. How many Seagals I could take every single Seagal. I don't care. Throw as many Seagals as you got at me, please. I will take them all. Space Ice, do you ever find yourself sprinting down a dark alley, naked with your mullet slapping between your shoulder blades? Everything but the dark part. It's usually a daytime thing. But the rest, daily, yes. Space Ice, did you snatch every motherfucking birthday? No. No. I refuse to do Seagal things. Oh, PHKO. Snap it to a Slim Jim! Good old Macho Man. May he rest in peace. Ooh, favorite Mad Max movie. I'm going to go unpopular and go with Thunderdome because of the stupidity of it. I love the right amount of stupid. It's not bad stupid like Resident Evil. It's good stupid. Ooh, my favorite Space Ice video. It's been the Fast 5 one. Typically, they come and go based on how long it's been since I've seen them, since I know all the jokes, since I've said them all. What I like best is when I look at one of my older videos and it makes me laugh because I forgot my jokes. But currently, it's the Fast 5 one. I will do Chuck Norris. JTC, will Seagal ever score a point? It's not up for me to decide. I am a very unbiased, fair observer and judge. I will never, ever let bias judge my opinion. But I doubt it. I fucking doubt it, Seagal. He ain't getting a point. Space Ice, will you review other country dumb movies like Turkish or Bollywood? Yes. Doesn't have to be an American movie, just the language I happen to speak, so they typically will come from America or an English-speaking country. Who wins in a fight, my mullet or Colin Farrell's Miami Vice mullet? My mullet? Come on, stupid question. Space Ice, why is there such a lack of Mel Gibson reviews? I have apologized for that street tur. Is that how you pronounce it? Street tur? And I will get on that. I will fix that. It will definitely be the second The Patriot video I do will be a Mel Gibson one. RP. The space spark plug references are about them spitting and the effects they have on the world. Jubei says, Space Ice, what made you do these videos? I was inspired. Usually inspiration. Inspired by Van Damme and inspired against Seagal. I mean, you people haven't seen all the Seagal movies I've seen. You've seen the abbreviated versions. Don't. You can't unsee them. Space Ice, are you going to do a John Woo movie? I have done a John Woo movie. I've done 2 John Woo movies. I'm a big fan of Hong Kong action flicks. I'd love to see it. Hard Target's a John Woo movie. Face Off is a John Woo movie. I've done both of those. And I might do more because I love his style. Oh, I've done Mission Impossible 2. That's also a John Woo movie. Okay, Highland Laddie. Chong Li would not succumb to Tong Po's striking. Have you seen Chong Li's guns? Have you seen him make his pecs bounce? Tong Po would have no chance. Plus, Tong Po doesn't have powder to throw in the eyes. Space Ice, what was the hardest video for you to make? Currently, it's the one I'm doing now. I'm wishing I started on something different. You'll see when it comes out. It is... It's when they're bad, not because they're stupid, but because they're just boring. And that's what I'm doing now. So you'll see on Friday. Space Ice, will we ever see Seagal sitting down, shooting a gun around a stripper with his eyes closed, or Universal Soldier 7 first? That's quite the question. No, Seagal will never shoot around a stripper. He might shoot through the stripper. Seagal would put several rounds through a stripper, and not to shoot something else. That's just what Seagal does. So probably that. Yes, Timothy Madsen asks, Space Ice, can you do the Punisher with Dolph Lundgren? Yes, yes, yes. Space Ice, what's your opinion on the violence in films? Do you condone the amount of violence in Quentin Tarantino? That's the worst spelling of Tarantino I have ever seen. Films. Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes. Every film should have at least a Tarantino level of violence. If not, they should make him go back and redo it. Space Ice, what happened that we didn't get Fast and Furious 4? I was just so excited to get to 5. I said, you know what? No one's going to notice, and only like 3 people have noticed that I did not do 4. I went from 3 to 5. Space Ice, would you do a science fiction movie? I've done science fiction movie before. I'm doing one right now, so you'll see on Friday. Space Ice, yes, no, or maybe so. Yes. Yes, maybes for losers. If you can't make a decision, you shouldn't be answering questions. Will you do the Barbie movie? No. Space Ice froze time behind him with the glorious mullet. And it's freeze time. They're just waiting for me. They know to wait for me. They're not going to start without me. You are welcome, Giovanni Ramos, for the hard work I put in my videos. Steve Austin, what makes you think that? But yes, you are correct. I guess I gave too many hints, but yeah. Space Ice, who is smarter, Joe Biden or Steven Seagal? You guys. You guys and your political questions. Nobody's stupider than Seagal. Come on. Space Ice, have you ever seen the Nicolas Cage hardcore borderline snuff action movie Valley Girl? No, I have not. Actually, yes, I have. When I was a kid, I don't really remember it. But I will watch the game because it's got Nicolas Cage. Space Ice, do you think watching Steven Seagal movie backwards could make it better? It can't make it worse, so yes. Yes. 100% better. Space Ice, you should do a couple more videos like your first one with Urkel. There were 4 or 5 of them that got taken out by a corrupted SD card. I had a expose on Airbud on how terrible the opposing coach was because Airbud cannot shoot from further than 4 feet away from right underneath the basket. So had they just put a defender under the basket, the entire thing would collapse. I had an entire video on that somehow. I did the Little Giants and how badly the other team played. And Rick Moranis' team, I know they had Icebox. You don't got to tell me. Icebox is amazing. But besides that, they had nobody. And they just choked. And the Harlem Globetrotters, I think they might be cheating. But yeah, I had a few of those videos that were similar. I was exposing a lot of the corruption. Space Ice, would you consider do a collab with other YouTubers? My only problem with doing that is finding time to do it. I have almost no free time between making the movies. Conrad K, have you seen The Platform? Is that the movie where they send food down one level at a time? If so, yes. If it's something else, then yeah, sure, I've seen it. Thank you, Jubei, for the incredible emoji. So what happened to the Steven Seagal Sniper Special Ops video? I get this question a lot. I'll say it one more time. It'll come much later. It's not a Seagal movie. It's a boring movie where he shows up for 5 minutes, but it's not a Seagal movie. And it's not the terrible movie that's the worst ever that other people make it out to be. He's made worse movies. But at some point. Space Ice, can you please do Return to Gilligan's Island? That's one I've been fighting for. YouTube censorship will not let it go through. So if I can get them to crack on that, but I doubt it. It's pretty bad. Space Ice, would you consider making your own movie in the style of Neil Breen? I have far too much self-respect, so no. Space Ice, can you do a video about Frank Dukes? I feel like that was the Bloodsport video. Space Ice, are you ever going to review Carl Urban's Pathfinder movie? No. Space Ice, was Frank Dukes a huge liar? Well, I mean, he still is a huge liar, so he probably was back then, so yes. What's Seagal worse at, being a cop or an actor? I'm going to say actor. I don't think he's ever been a cop. Pretty sure they just said he was, but there's no way they would let Seagal work by himself. So he's good at lying about being a cop. But no, he's not worse thing. Well, maybe he's worse human being than actor, but that's probably the only thing that's worse than what he is as an actor. Ooh, Space Ice, Ginger or Mary Ann? Ooh. I haven't seen him in a while. As a kid, it was always Mary Ann. Thank you, Mr. Drinker. I agree. I am quite the legend. Ooh, will I do a complication video of Seagal's best slap fights? When you invite me, Mr. Drinker, as long as it's something I can have expertise about, which is basically everything. I mean, I don't know if you've seen my videos, but I'm pretty much an expert on everything. Derek Dew, are you the voice in your videos? Yes, I am the voice in my videos. Thank you for that question. $5. Thank you, sir. You are very, very polite. All right, sir. I guess I will see you there. Ooh, Kevin Baker. Now, this is a question. How much to get my top off? Oh, man. So, ask people who are earlier about the OnlyFans. They know about it. They'll hook you up. Tried asking earlier, does Seagal not at least get 1 point for committing seppuku in Machete? Fuck no, he doesn't get a point for that. No. He tried to make his death cool. No, he loses points for that. No. Seagal doesn't. I appreciate the question and the money, Christopher, but, man, you just set me off. How can you think he's cool for getting attention, trying to look cool when dying? He should just die, make everyone happy, and just let it happen. I guarantee you that was a change he made, too. He was just supposed to die, and he said, you know, it would be cool if I died awesomely and I killed myself, and it was an honor thing. Fuck that guy. Ooh, South Park or Family Guy? I gotta go South Park. They've been doing it longer. They seem to have more of an effect on the zeitgeist when they criticize things or do something. It's actually a big story and everyone watches it. You don't really see that with Family Guy. I don't even know if Family Guy's still around. So, do you use a voice changer? I do not use a voice changer. No. Most of what I do is because it's cheap and easy. Because when I was starting out, I had no money to throw at this, so I just started doing it. God of Thunder Gaming, I don't see how you can ask if this is real or a wig. It is obviously real. This is more real than your hair. How dare you ask me that? Please, have some decorum, people. Yes, Mazgask. I will do Showdown in Little Tokyo. Nelson the Gentleman. Is the mullet real, and will you review Kung Fury? I'm going to take it. You just got here, so I'll be nice. Yes, of course, the mullet's real. How dare you? Kung Fury. I don't see how I could make that any more ridiculous. I think if I were to do Kung Fury, I would turn it into a straight drama. That might be the only route I could go with it. I would love to do that. That movie is incredible. If you haven't seen it, you should right now. But I don't see how I could make that into make a space-sized movie already into more of a space-sized movie. But I might play around with it, see what I can do. Space-sized live stream. Okay. Showdown. Yeah, Showdown in Little Tokyo. That's one of those movies people remember from their childhood that they always loved. I mean, it's got Dolph Lundgren. That was the correct answer. You are very welcome. Kung Fury would be impossible. Yeah, it would be impossible. It's space-sized. You're right, Angry D. It is space-sized. Who would win in a fight between John Matrix and Casey Ryback? Oh, my God. John Matrix would slaughter him with anything. He would go into a barn and come out with... oh, God, I love John Matrix so much. John Matrix is who I want to be. Since I can't be Van Damme because of the accent, I could be John Matrix because he's born and raised in America. He's a major in the Army. I would definitely go John Matrix. He took out like an entire military. He was just standing there in the open, and they were too afraid to shoot him. He just stood there, shooting from the hip, and took them all out. Matrix is my American hero. Van Damme's obviously my hero, but John Matrix is the American hero, the most American guy there is. Casey Ryback, he got locked in the freezer. Oh my God. There was an E1 locked him in the freezer. He couldn't get out. Jesus. Plus, they burnt the pie. Space Ice, I'm not trying to be political, but do you think Steven Seagal's alliance with Vladimir Putin will hurt his movie career? No, nothing can hurt his movie career. Are you kidding me? He could go Bill Cosby and his movie career can't get any worse. So no, I don't think that will hurt his career. His choice at nabbing some choice roles. Oh, so it was the entire thing was a joke. Got it. Give us Space Ice. Okay. Ever did Kickboxer? I've never heard of Kickboxer. I'm not sure what that is. Space Ice is a real person. Yes. What about Equilibrium? Is that the Christian Bale Equilibrium? I like that movie. I'll do Equilibrium. Thanks, Mr. Moocher. You get jacked for my videos every Friday. That's why I do it, to get people jacked. My spirit animal is an American bald eagle. Armed, of course. Could Seagal get a point if you did pre-2000 Seagal versus post-2000 Seagal? Thanks, brother. Me, my sons, and nephews have bonded more over your vids. No. It would be one of those battles who gets the least negatives. It would be like a Breen-Seagal battle between two Seagals. Pre-2000 might win just because the output of post-2000 Seagal, where he's doing 8 movies a year, is just terrible for humanity, so he might just get the less negative points just on volume alone. Cinema Wraps, $5. Thank you, sir. When was the moment you realized, and how did it feel? That would probably be late 80s, watching, can't remember the name of the movie, but there was this fighter, his brother had just gotten paralyzed in a kickboxing fight. He was training hard. They were like pulling his legs apart, dropping things on his stomach. He got trashed and they went to a bar. My life was changed. I don't want to ruin it. If you guys know the movie, feel free to tell people, but that's the moment Space Ice was born. Casey Ryback. This is from the Duck Goes Quack Quack. They do go quack quack. Casey Ryback versus the girl who jumped out of the cake. Oh, come on. The girl who jumped out of the cake. Literally everyone says she's the best part of that movie besides Tommy Lee Jones and Gary Busey. Please review Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man for @EricKramer Voyager. I don't know who that is, but, and I'll probably forget to dedicate to them, but I'm going to say I'll do that and dedicate to them and then forget when it actually comes out. Space Ice, what would it take to stop Steven Seagal? I think we all know the answer is stairs. All this time talking and Space Ice has not had a sip of water. I don't drink water. It's pure energy drinks. Let me see. Can I put you in a timeout? Oh, 24-hour timeout. Boom. Yeah. That was on Deadly Ground? Oh, okay. I feel like Mead's lying to people, but okay. Does your family know how much you love Seagal? If my family watched my videos, Master Search, they would know. They claim they do, but they don't. Multiverse of JCVD. Who plays alternate time cop? His brother. His twin brother. Come on. Space Ice is stuck in 1987. I wish. Oh, man, I wish. John Woo's Hard Boiled. Best movie ever. It is definitely a best movie ever. There is no denying. Any John Woo movie is a best movie ever. Joe Dirt meets 40-year-old virgin plus. I'll take the plus to mean it better than the 40-year-old virgin. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Do the live Space Ice like July 1776 all over again. You're damn right it is. 80s Slayer, 90s Slayer, 2000 Slayer. Nice. That's a good question. 90s Slayer. Are you hitting on me, JBU Gannon? Asking if I'm married. Are you hitting on me? Yes, I am. My 15-year-old lesbian stepdaughter. I feel like none of that information was necessary, but I appreciate it. And I love your videos. Why are you so awesome? 15-year-old lesbian stepdaughters just love space ice. It's a cultural phenomenon. Who wins? X1 Godzilla size Seagal or X1000 regular people? Anything that does not have Seagal wins against Seagal. That is a law of nature. How would you fix the Expendables after the last one? Bring Van Damme back. Bring Cage back. That's all you need. It's fixed. I don't care what happens after that. Can I mumble rap? I think anyone can mumble rap. Imagine Seagal mumble rapping. Will you do horror movies? Of course I'll do horror movies. Yes. I do Seagal movies. Close enough. Prove it, Teo HK. Imitate my voice perfectly. Prove it. Prove it, liar. Space Ice rocks. Yeah, he does. Space Ice, can you simply say in your perfect voice, because that's fucking stupid? Oh my god, Streeter, you just blew my mind. Carl Urban was Cupid on Xena Warrior Princess? Oh my god. I feel like that just changed something inside me. I actually never knew that. That dude is everywhere. Carl Urban is everywhere. What kind of customization do you think the suspension on the golf cart Steven Seagal rides around in has? Gas shocks, heavy-duty leaf springs, solid rubber tires. I'm going to go with extra spark plugs. He needs like 6 spark plugs. We need to make a soundboard of Space Ice. We do. Especially me. And I wouldn't have to talk anymore. I could just hit buttons. Thank you, El Guapo. I loved you in the Three Amigos. This guy is basically an 80s Taylor Swift for 15-year-old lesbians. I tell people that all the time, word for word. Well, you did give me $4.99 tag from Westgate. Can you say in your perfect voice, "Oh my god, Van Damme just saved we my ass pulls"? I don't know, though. It's just saved we my ass. Okay. King of Kickboxers, Galto. I'll take a look at that. I feel like it doesn't have Van Damme in it. But is it one of the ones where he comes back as a trainer? But I'll definitely take a look at King of Kickboxers. I know there's some... Don't even get me started on the sequel where they try to pretend like he could be killed. That's fucking stupid. Would you enjoy Expendables movie with Steven Seagal in it? That's a good question. I would love to see Seagal in an Expendables movie. In the movie, because he only does those cheap, they need him in it per contract, so we get someone to look at it movies. A real movie would not put up with this shit. He would not be able to show up and just dictate anything. So we might just get one scene of him before he leaves crying, and I would be there in a heartbeat. What's your opinion on the Doom movies and Postal movie? There's Doom movies? I thought there was just the Rock one. You could make a decent video. I could do a Doom movie. I don't know about Postal. Uwe Boll, God. These movies start to get just boring. I like stupid bad, but boring bad is just, it's a struggle. Yeah, I don't think I could do Spaceballs. It's jokes already. I can't really make fun of something that's making fun of itself. So the Stephen Hawking's no boundaries theory of the universe is total bullshit. I have gone through the entire thing, and not once is there anything about Thailand. Not once. So it's total bullshit. Don't buy it. Now there's 2 Doom movies? Do they both have The Rock? It would work well for video. It could, yeah, with the new one or the older one. I think the older one might be better for it. Leon the Professional? Hell yeah, Leon the Professional. Love me some Gary Oldman. He should be a villain in everything. He's one of the best villains. Sure, Holly, we can do a watch party together. I don't see why not. There will be some Mortal Kombat movies. Those are too bad, and at least they're the good bad. They're the really stupid, insulting bad, which I like. Ooh, who wins in a fight? Van Damme's daughter, Lundgren's daughter, or Stallone's daughters? So, Stallone's got more daughters, but Van Damme's Van Damme, so Van Damme's daughter, and it's not even close. If JCVD from Time Cop went head-to-head with Cage from Season of the Witch, who would win? Well, there's a few things going on there. One, you got 2 Time Cops. You have the 1994 version and the 2004 version. So you have 2 Van Dammes. So it's already going to be a win because of that. And then Season of the Witch, Cage actually dies. Van Damme can't possibly die. So I got to go with Time Cop. Good question, though. Those are the questions I'd like to see. The Guardians. The Russian answer to Marvel. Do we need a Russian answer to Marvel? English dub on Prime, it's so retarded it's genius. Or breathtaking, it's horrible. You're saying all the right words. I might have to check out The Guardians. Any feelings about Scott Adkin movies? Yes, I like Scott Adkin movies. He was great in 4 wearing a fat suit. I think more action stars should wear fat suits. I'm trying to think of a time it didn't work out. It always works out. Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder. Les Grossman. Like, come on. You put an action hero, you put them in the fat suit, and it's going to be gold. What hobbies do you regularly do besides watching movies and making videos? Those are my 2 hobbies. I apologize. I have time for nothing else. Hair straight from the 80s, yes. It's been my hair since the 80s, and I see no reason to change it. If someone has a way to improve it, I'm open, but it coming up on 30 years, and it hasn't been improved yet. Space Ice. What if there was a movie with 2 Steven Seagals in it? There is. There is. I'll get to it eventually. But it's one of those, he's a side character that just shows up at the very beginning and very end. But yeah, there's a 2 Seagal movie. We love you, Wang Wang. Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate you calling me Wang Wang. Fucking weirdo. Favorite director? Ooh. That's a good one. I mean, I like Tarantino. I like Nolan, even though I know Nolan's a controversial one. Verhoeven's got some gold. Absolutely, Verhoeven has gold. John Woo. I gotta go John Woo. John Woo, yeah. John Woo knows how to do stupid action in the most awesome way. Fuck Keone Waxman. Someone blocked JTC for saying some shit like that. I can't believe he just ruined my day. I was born with the mullet. No, Streeter. There was no fat suit on Seagal. Could you imagine? Can you imagine how hard that would be to make a fat suit for Seagal? That would take so much material. So the thing about Blade Trinity is I don't know if it's the movie or the keywords or something, but all my Blade movies get age restricted, so I don't want to waste time on it. I know 3's really bad, and it's got Ryan Reynolds, and it's got Wesley Snipes with his eye CGI'd because he refused to open his eyes for a scene. I mean, it's got some gold I'd love to do, but I hate to spend that much time for an age-restricted video. Of course, Christopher Jekyll. I know Van Damme did direct The Quest. I figured we were not asking about Van Damme. Because I could just answer Van Damme for almost every question. But you don't need me here for that, so I assumed he was not in the running for that. Yes, you can make a Seagal suit for fat people. The Last Universal Soldier is good. The regeneration is amazing. I'm trying to remember what it's called. But they're all very different from each other. It's like a horror movie. And yeah, Van Damme is barely in it, so it isn't as good. But it's the two direct-to-video that are the worst Universal Soldier. Those are the ones they just pretend never happened. I think they even pretend the return never happened. Yeah, if JCVD was cast as the next Superman, they would save so much money. They wouldn't need to do any CGI. They could just film him. They could just go fight crime. They could film that movie in an hour. Revenge of the Ninja Domination. Okay. Out for Justice is cinema classic? What? Master Search. You're just trying to get under my skin. If any of you have recently seen Out for Justice, almost nothing happens in that movie. He drives around the entire movie looking for a guy, and at the end he finds him. And then right after he kills him, the mafia shows up to kill him anyways. The entire movie, he's driving around to find a guy that was going to die anyways. And then people think it's God. People, man, my blood pressure is going up, people. Let's bring it down. Looking for questions. Would you do Sharknado? Yes, of course I would do Sharknado. Face Ice Quick. How many different nationalities is Steven Seagal? He's just Russian. He's just Russian at this point, just one. I bet they have buyer's remorse, too, for giving him citizenship. Idiots. Yes, executive decision getting sucked out. That is one of the greatest scenes. I will agree. It's not quite Thailand dance scene. It's not quite there, but it's good stuff. Oh, welcome, Mr. Madison. I have never heard of that. Matthew Veliquiz asking if I'm the host of Legion of Men podcast. I've never actually heard that. But sure, yeah, I'm that guy. That's me. Well, if it's a podcast, I wouldn't have to be in disguise, though. Right? Because you can't see him in the podcast. I like Chuck Norris. I somehow missed his movies growing up, so I don't have the affinity for him. But I do remember Walker, Texas Ranger, him telling Haley Joel Osment that he has AIDS. So that'll always be one of the pivotal moments in my life. Do you wish Seagal was on board the Titan submersible when it imploded? No. Weird question. Pretty sure that even with their lax safety standards, they had weight limits. They're not going to put Seagal on that. Can God himself create a rock so big that JCVD cannot lift it? Of course not, Gabriel. Please. Why would Van Damme try and challenge himself with a rock contest? Wow. Oh, there's Epic Kramer Voyager also asking about Harley Davidson, the Marlboro Man. And you had your people coming to do it. You must really like that movie. You're the only way I can watch Star Wars. Well, thank you. I believe my lack of Star Wars expertise is what makes me ideal to do Star Wars reviews. Favorite British movie? I don't even know what movies are British. I feel like there can't be one. Someone wants to throw out some British movies. Magic Push, okay. Oh, like Guy Ritchie? Are Bond movies? I mean, I know everything about it. I do like Snatch. If it's the Guy Ritchie, it might be Snatch is my favorite. The Bond movies, I was never crazy into Bond. I liked them, but I was never super into them. Monty Python movies. Space Ice, would you do a video on dog soldiers? Is this. I've never heard of this, but if it's about dogs who are in a war, but they're not like anthropomorphic, they're just actual dogs going around fighting with guns and shit, then yes, I will do that immediately. But I have a feeling that's not what this movie's about. Dog Soldiers is an awesome and British movie. It's a werewolf movie. Okay, so close. Orbital Hub, Ninja Scroll, best anime ever, worth it even if. Not very big on anime. I don't know why. I have an aversion to it. Just the look of it. And it'd be good if I could watch those. I just can't. It would give me a whole new genre to do, but I just can't. I've tried. I can't. "28 Days Later" was one, wasn't it? That was the one where they just, for no reason, starts off with the full frontal of the nude guy. We don't need that. Monty Python movies. I'll probably do a DC EU movie. And I'll get into Marvel at some point too. I'm trying new things. That's why I tried The Acolyte, because it's pretty far from something I would ever do. But I actually did the joke poll about it for my channel, not intending to ever do it. But then I realized all the reasons I shouldn't do it are the perfect reasons why I should do it. And so then I did it. Plus, I said I would abide by the results of the poll, and everybody voted Rob Schneider. So I feel like I Rob Schneidered it. Neil Breen is the best. What is wrong with you? Have you read comments defending Sensei Segal like their life depends on it? Yes, I have read those, and they are hilarious. Space Ice, why did you call it a movie? Because it's funny if I call it a movie. That's my catchphrase, and I know it's not a movie, but it's funny to refer to it as a movie. I don't know if you've seen my videos, but accuracy and truthfulness is the top thing I go for. What's the first movie that made you feel you needed to narrate it? Unfortunately, it's one that doesn't exist anymore, at least the video. It was actually The Animal by Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider has been one of the longest running things on my channel. Even before Van Damme, it was a Rob Schneider movie. It was a very well thought out argument on why The Animal is actually the greatest movie mankind has ever known. And everyone agreed with it. Space Ice, you should make your own intentionally bad movie. Kind of like Kung Pao Enter the Fist. It's not a question, but I don't think I could make something bad. I could try, but I think it would still come out awesome. And actually, for The Acolyte, I did the first 6 episodes. I know it looks like I only did 5, but literally nothing happened in that 6th episode. So all I added was that little gopher guy dancing. That was the 3 seconds from that last episode. So there's no reason to finish the last 2 episodes. I feel like I said what I needed to say. Critical patient to the hospital, yes. Driven to Kill, oh boy. Everything about that movie. Sometimes he's Russian, sometimes he's not. Okay, CL, I'm okay. If Seagal ever did a nude scene, I would watch your review in the theater. Oh my god. Jesus. I don't even want to respond to that. I'm just going to move on. Little Soldiers. It's got Rudy, right? They're in the school, the terrorist. I do Little Soldiers. Oh no, that's the one with the little toys. I was thinking toy soldiers. All right, that's the one. Oh no, what is this? Is this a Bollywood movie? No, I'm not doing little soldiers. Yeah, so toy soldiers is about people, and small soldiers is about toys. So good job, Hollywood. Seagal has not contacted me, fortunately. Space Ice. Can Jean-Claude Van Damme, creative force? I mean, you said can Jean-Claude Van Damme, so it's already a yes. Creative force so irresistible that not even Jean-Claude Van Damme can withstand it. Ooh. Yes. He would simultaneously be able to create that irresistible force and yet somehow simultaneously resist it. Trust me. You saw Tenet. Shit just works, okay? Don't question it. Just feel it. Just feel it. Space Ice, were you an 80s kid or teen? Are you asking if I was a kid or a teenager? I was not a teenager in the 80s. I was a kid for some of it. Why is mulleted Peter Stormare hosting a Space Ice live stream? Space Ice was busy. He asked me to help out, and I do what I can. Space Ice, does your spouse like your movie voice? No. If it's about me, then no. It just takes a spin kick. Everything takes a spin kick. There's not a problem that cannot be solved with spin kicks. Do you know Wang Wang, Space Ice? No. I do not know Wang Wang. JCVD asks you to shave your mullet. What do you do? I shave the mullet. I'm not stupid. Tenet wasn't cringe. I enjoyed Tenet. Beekeeper has Jason Statham murdering the shit out of people, and everybody's making bee puns for no reason. So yes, it's good. The channel is all I do with all my time, every day. Inception won't be next, but it will be coming. Man, Mr. Kramer and the Harley Davidson, the Marlboro Man. Are you in that movie or something? You seem to really be about that. That's all you talk about. Cool as Ice, starring Vanilla Ice. Hell yeah, he starts off in that sweet motorcycle. Does he like race an airplane or something? And wins? I think he beats an airplane. There is no overacting in the video I'm going to do. Although I am making a stylistic choice that people will be very confused about unless you've seen it, then you'll get it. Talking about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I haven't seen it, but I'm in. Just by the name, I'm in. Yeah, Coffee, we're just talking about it. Cool as ice. The girl needs to drop the zero and be with the hero. Don't act like you don't know. Yes, Angel, I would. If I was offered $1 million to spend a week with Steven Seagal, I 100% would, and I would shit talk him the entire time. I would try to goad him into fighting him. JD Cyber, hey Space Ice, what do you get for the $249.99 Thailand bar membership? I think it says in there, I make fun of you for paying $250 for a YouTube membership. Yeah, I will totally make fun of you. If you read it there, you're not Van Damme in the bar. You're one of the guys whose girls are dancing with Van Damme. So if you guys want to spend $250 for me to make fun of you, okay. Oh boy, Malachi Magado, is Big Trouble in Little China the best movie ever made, or is it the greatest movie ever made? I gotta go with greatest. I think it is the greatest movie ever made. You have the debut of Henry Swanson. Man. Swanson's his name and excitement's his game. Could Seagal's farts be used as lethal weapons? These are the things my viewers think about. I refuse to believe Seagal could be lethal to anyone who is not innocent. So as long as you're not innocent, you're safe. If you're innocent, he's probably going to kill you. Can Space Ice produce music? Of course I could produce music. Watching the Peanut Butter Falcon, don't spoil it. Okay, Salty, you could just not told me you were watching it. Then the odds of me spoiling it are really low. When are you going to do Shaq's movie Kazam? Maybe Shaq should have his own line of videos I do. Steel was surprisingly good. Maybe it's because movies recently are so bad, but I was actually entertained by Steel more than I thought I would be. So yeah, I might do Kazam. Nunchucks are free ice cream. Nunchucks. Please, nunchucks. Nunchucks are really underused. Everyone should be using nunchucks. For everything. I don't care what. Space Ice, have you seen Monstered? If so, can you review it? I have not. I do enjoy the title. I feel like I would not enjoy the movie, though. Take Out for Justice. Fuck yeah. Space Ice, have you thought about doing the Harry Potter movies in order? No, I have not. I have never thought of that. Oh boy. I mean, it gives me content, but my God. I don't think I could do that. Cobra Kai or Miyagi-Do? Come on, Cobra Kai. Are you kidding me? Not even close. Always Cobra Kai. Always Cobra Kai. You gotta strike first. I agree. Everything could use more Dolph Lundgren. I don't think there's ever been a case where more Dolph Lundgren would not be a benefit. Van Damme or Norris, both in their prime. Van Damme. Not even close. Lord of the Rings. I don't know what you're asking with that question. I saw the 3 Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings. I didn't see the Hobbits. If that's what you're asking, I could do videos on them. They might make decent videos. If you could put JCVD in any movie role, I think I answered this earlier. I think it was above the law. It's because of the domino effect that would have for everybody's lives. Space Ice, do you enjoy Always Sunny in Philadelphia? I do. I do. What did you do before this channel? What's your background? Love your shit. I had a lot of jobs before this. Many jobs. If there was a job, I probably held it. Very important question, Rob Schneider. And anyone who's followed the channel knows the answer to Rob Schneider is always Rob Schneider. Has any Antonio Banderas movies crossed your mind? Yes. Yes. Many Antonio Banderas movies. I'll probably do the El Mariachi ones. Might do Assassins with Stallone. Who knows? Maybe even some Puss in Boots. We'll see. If I do an animated one, it'll probably be that one. Bowles' Lord of the Rings, yes. Yes, where he just shamelessly ripped off one of those Lord of the Rings movies. I don't know. The Puss in Boots movie, at least the last one I saw, is pretty good. I mean, it's the same character from Shrek. But his standalone movie's pretty good. It gives me a lot to work with. Space Ice. If a tree falls in the forest and there's nobody there to hear it, does it make a noise? No. A tree doesn't even fall. If there's a tree that falls in the forest and nobody's there, how do you know it wasn't already there? So no, it doesn't make a noise and doesn't even fall. Space Ice is YouTube royalty. Fact. Do all Shrek movies, then Puss in Boots. Space Ice. There's like 4 Shrek movies. I gotta wait that many before I can do it. Time Crimes. Oh yeah, that's a good movie. I'm sure I could make it make sense too. That and Primer. I could break down Primer, make it easy for you people. 'Cause I know you people can't understand it, but it's actually pretty simple. All right, I got time for one more good question. What's the best question you guys got? What's the best question you guys got? Beverly Hills Cop is not a question. I appreciate it, but it's not a question. So I'm going to wait till I get a really good question. All right, here we go. Now this. Finally, something important. I don't know where it went. Do you prefer Thunder Gun with Hanging Dawn or no? I'm glad somebody finally had the guts to ask. But if you're doing Thunder Gun, people want dong. People are expecting dong. People are demanding dong. If you give me Thunder Gun with no dong, get the fuck away from me. I want nothing to do with it. Thank you, Rob DeLauro. I am very, very thankful for that question. And I appreciate people that showed up. I started a little bit late because the first 5 minutes I was streaming to myself, answering questions to myself. But you guys stuck around because I don't know, you got nothing to do. It's Sunday, I guess. You guys are losers with no jobs. But I appreciate it. So thank you. And I'll see you next time. I'm going to put up a post asking if anyone has questions. I'm sure I'll get mostly people telling me movie names again because that's the way it works. But I'll try and answer the few questions I actually get. Thank you. And also, if you want to join the YouTube membership thing, gives me money. That's always good for me. Feel free, but you don't have to. But you are cooler if you do. So thank you, guys. The Space Ice Mega Blockbuster Hit live stream where he begs you for money.